Hello and a very warm welcome to another live. And you're here with me, the Stack Collector, and Future Investments. Say hello, Future.
Hello, guys. Hello, Stack Collector. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm great, buddy. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good, mate. I wanted to just apologise to yourself and everyone. I'm running a little bit behind, so what's that saying? Whether making you wait or something keeps the heart fonder or something like that. I don't know, but
Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
that's it. Yes, correct. Yeah, yeah. So thanks for waiting, but hope you're good, and it's great to see your silver bullion stack building. I love seeing it each time.
Oh, it is definitely starting to build now. Now, there's a couple of pieces in the backdrop that aren't technically bullion. They'll be maybe 925 or maybe a 90% piece of American there. But it is mostly what you sit and got. It goes all the way back there as well.
Bloody hell! Wow.
So yeah, so it is really start. It's really starting to grow now, and there's some really beautiful pieces coming along as well. So yeah, the bullion stack is definitely coming on a little bit now. But yeah, no, there's a couple of bits I wanted to bring up very quickly if I can. But before I do that, I just want to say there's a few people in the chat who's been very kind of waiting for us. So we've got 365 Days of Silver, CY Sterling, Darth Stacker, Supreme Ginger Stacker, Shiny Precious Metals, Gary Crawford, and I do believe I saw, Brian S. there as well. So, hey guys, thank you so much for joining us, and it's great to have each and every single one of you here.
Yeah, definitely. I can't believe we've already got 14 people straight away in the live stream. That's got to be a record for the first 1 minute and 56 seconds live. So, a massive thank you to everyone for being here so early straight away. It shows that you guys are supporting us so heavily. And I'm sure it's coming off of the back of the amazing auction that you and Cobra did, because that's just like gone wild. And as we know, in Cobra's latest announcement, he's going to be doing the next auction with the one and only Backyard Bullion. I mean, how mental is that?
It's incredible, isn't it? I've spoke to Cobra, and I've told him how amazing I think it is, and it's such a great thing. And the auctions on their own are amazing. Now he had the warm-up auction, and the one I did with him was the first official auction. But I've now obviously taken part as just a viewer and a co-host, and it's so much fun. They're really great on their own, but to have the biggest name in UK stacking on there alongside of him, the next one is just going to be amazing. So I can't wait till that. I think it's the first Sunday of the month or the last month Sunday of the month, but either way, it'll be at the end / beginning of next month. And again, he gets such amazing pieces, and he does try hard to make sure that the pieces he gets for the auction aren't just generic. They are very, they sought after nice pieces worth heading over for. So yes, no, that's amazing news. But that being said, when it comes to YouTube news, we can't ignore the elephant that is finally back in the room, which is 365 Days of Silver being in the chat.
I know, mate. Absolutely unreal. I'm buzzing just to see that name appearing back in the chat. It feels like a celebrity in the precious metals community. It really does. I mean, maybe that's why 20 people are here. I don't know, but he has this aura, doesn't he? And boy, did we all miss it. We really did. So it's so good. You're right. To see 365 back, it's quite special.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is, because it's been so long since he's been in the chats of a live with us, and it's just, I've missed him so much. I really have, and he's like you say, he is like a celebrity. And when I speak to him outside of YouTube, I still get starstruck, and I still, it takes me a little while to respond because I get all nervous because I'm talking to this amazing YouTuber guy. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's incredible to have him back. But while we're on the subject of 365, I just want to say, did you see the video? It is now finally been settled. I have been vindicated. It is official. The animal that is on the bison, the buffalo round, is in fact a bison. And what I'm going to say about that video, because I knew a lot of that. Obviously, it was me who originally said it's a bison, not a buffalo. But he did such a great job of the backstory of it. I never knew. It's not only is it a bison, it's an actual individual bison with a name. Something rock. Yeah, this bison right here was in a zoo in America, and it was the bison that this was modelled off of. So not only is it's not just a generic bison, it's an actual bison from history. So that was so cool to learn that from 365 video, and he did such an amazing job. Putting it all together and putting the backstory together. Yeah, definitely go ahead and check that out later if you haven't done so already. But that being said, on the animal themes, I just want to bring up something else very quickly because I don't know if you were aware or not. I did a live myself on my channel. When was it? Friday, because I did a bit of an unboxing where I did the Geiger Square and the Unit of the Line. But we had a chat, and in the chat, one of the guys taking part, Stephen, posed a question that is a kookaburra a kingfisher or a separate bird? And I answered at the time that it is a separate bird. Kookaburras are remarkably larger than a kingfisher, which isn't a large bird, they're very small birds. I see them from time to time when I'm fishing. But I did say, because he made me look at the picture of a kookaburra, and he does look remarkably like a kingfisher. So I said to Stephen, I wonder if they are related. I wonder if kingfishers and kookaburras are related, even not the exact same bird, but I wonder if they are related. And lo and behold, a couple of days later, I got an email out of blue by another guy who's been in the comments of the lives recently, Jim, who's from over in Australia, and he's let me know that there's two main species of kookaburra. There's, I think it was a brown of common and the blue. And the brown one is one that has the iconic laugh, and apparently the blue one sounds a bit more like a cough. But what he did confirm is the kookaburra is the world's largest kingfisher. So there you go. That's something new I've learned, and I just thought it was really interesting. I just wanted to say thank you to Jim for sending that information across. So that came from Stephen in the live on Friday, and yeah, now we know the answer.
Wow, that's information on both of those pieces I never ever knew. As far as I was aware, I thought Kingfisher was a beer. So, uh,
No, it's cider.
oh, a cider. There you go. Even even even
No,
there,
no,
I'm wrong.
sorry. I'm thinking of woodpecker. Are you thinking of woodpecker?
I was thinking of Kingfisher, and I thought it was a beer, but I wasn't going to question your.
Yeah,
Um,
no. The cider is woodpecker. I correct myself on that. No, it's I'm getting woodpeckers and kingfishers mixed up. But
right, and also touching on the other thing you mentioned, is it a
yeah,
buffalo or a bison? I'm just reading out 365 video on that. Is it a buffalo or a bison on this silver round? So you were right by that. It's a bison, but I didn't know that it was a specific
yeah.
individual bison that was named after. That's really interesting because that's definitely not common knowledge.
No. And well, to be honest with you, like especially over in the States, the fact that they are distinctively different species is more common knowledge to call it a buffalo, which is why so many people do. But yeah, no, I think he did. He did such a great job of the backstory, and I think most of us probably didn't know the part about it being an actual individual bison with a name. So yeah, no. Once again, hats off to 365 for that video. So it was so good, and it was so. I was absolutely howling because obviously I'm the guy who brought it up initially, and there's obviously been a bit of a controversy in the comments on and off of YouTube about what it was. So just to have it finally cleared that yes, it's a buffalo is something that is found in Asia and Africa. And there's two species, the water and cave buffalo, and that creature right there is neither of them. So yeah, no, that's absolutely brilliant. Now there's something else I've been meaning to talk to you about, future. I don't know if you want to leave it till now or later because it's a little bit off of the precious metals topic. So we can leave it till a bit later on in the chat if you want. We can go through now.
Why don't we, as we like to start the initial live on the topic of investments, and then as it goes on, we go off on a bit more of a tangent into pub chat. As you've just stated, it's not particularly investment related. Should we keep the suspense building and keep the guys waiting so we can find out what that is a little bit later?
Absolutely, let's do that. And I've just noticed we've got, but not only Every Cloud, but both Serpent Silver have now joined us in the chat. So just want to say, hey guys, how you doing? Thank you very much for joining us. Before we go into investments and precious metals, etc., shall we just have a quick look at the chat? And
yeah, perfect.
see what we're missing here. Okay. Do you want to have a quick, just to speak to people quickly while I have a quick read through and see what we've got going on?
Yeah, definitely. Well, a massive thank you to everyone for tuning into the live stream. It's actually been a couple of weeks since we've done one because there was a auction, as you know, on Cobra's channel. But yeah, I can see so many people in the chat right now. We've got Supreme Ginger Stacker, 365 Days of Silver, Serpent Silver, Every Cloud, Gary Crawford, a regular name on the channel here, Darth Stacker, another very regular name, welcome, CY Sterling. We've got a few replies from future investments in there. Every Cloud. We've got a new name I've not seen before, Darren CN. Welcome to the live stream, buddy. And we're going up through the chat. We've got Investing Tortoise. It always makes me smile when I see that name. It's a very, very interesting name for sure. We're going up through the chat. We've got Brian S. We've seen Brian before. Welcome back, buddy. And going back through, the comments are very, very the chat's going off, which is fantastic. So yeah, massive shout out to you guys. But if you've seen any questions, Stat Collector, feel free, or comments that you'd like to pick up on.
Yes, I had a quick flick through. It's mostly just people chatting, saying hi to each other. But there was one question right here, and it was to you.
Okay.
And it was about whether or not you were tempted to keep hold of the 1 kilogram bar.
Great question. You can see it here. It's a beauty. The straight answer is no. No, I'm not keeping it. I'll be returning it next week. Unfortunately, don't get me wrong. I love it. Holding it now, it feels special. You'll recently know that I did a video on this bar talking about silver bars, and what better to have in the hand when talking about silver bars than a 1 kilo bar. One thing I didn't touch on was that it's so tough and durable. If you have seen that video, you'll know that I mentioned quite a bit. It doesn't come in any packaging, but it's so durable. I can understand why it doesn't. And I didn't mention that in the video. And yeah, for such a big bullion piece, it's so solid. It seems so durable, unlike 1 ounce silver Britannias, as we know they're a bit of a pain with milk spotting and cloudiness. But in a simple answer, no, I'm not going to be keeping it because for me personally, I don't like the fact that it's not capital gains tax exempt. But yeah, that's the answer to that question.
Yeah, no, fair, that's fair enough. I did publicly say and just admit, but I don't care about capital gains tax when I'm buying silver. I'm happy to look into different pieces because I'm personally future. I'm a big believer that if you get the right piece, the the collectability of it will put the price premium up, will outweigh the what you lose on your capital gains, which you only pay on profit anyway. So you've got to make £6,000 in profit. That's not including the amount it's cost you to buy the piece in the outset. So you've got to have a hell of a lot of silver sold before you even start looking into having to pay CGT anyway. So I fully understand what you're saying. It's not really one for me either. If it's a bar, I definitely like the ornate bars, and it's a bit plain for me. But it is a beautiful bar, and definitely must have been amazing for you to have got that from Tavex to review for them.
Yeah, it is absolutely. I feel so lucky to be able to review these pieces because as a content creator, when you've done so many videos and you get start to build up a subscriber base, you do feel the pressure a little bit to bring out non-boring, non-repeated content. So I feel very fortunate that I can talk to Tavex and have a bit of a rapport with them, and they're so willing to send me pieces to review. And I do it for you guys so you can get very different content that maybe other precious metal YouTubers aren't doing, because it's not every day you can just go out and buy a 1 kilo silver bar really for a YouTube video. So very, very cool. But yeah, I totally get your comments on the capital gains tax threshold. Do you want to explain that a little bit if you feel up to it about that sort of tax, because it is a grey area, isn't it? I mean, you're right, you get taxed on your profit, but someone might say, well, how do they know what your profit is? How do they know how much you paid for it? There's so many variables. Do you feel comfortable touching on that a little bit and enlightening us? Or
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the thing is, the onus is on the seller to have good records of what we're buying things for. It's just, it's like anything in business, because when you're selling it, it's business. proposition. And if you got audited and you didn't have all your receipts to prove things, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean, Bill? But now I assume what Bill would do is go into like what. It's no, you know what? It's a good question, because if you don't know how much you spent on it when you got it, then perhaps they just tax the full amount. But yeah, no, that's something probably worth looking into a little bit further, because that right there is a very grey area. Like say, if you were to sell a large amount, like take it to a bullion dealer, which a lot of people do sell from bullion dealers, and you'll find if you're selling through a bullion dealer, the CGT will probably be taken out at the point of sale anyway. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'll definitely look into that a little bit more and get back to you on that one, buddy. But yeah, it does pose a good question, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's such a grey area. I mean, you, it's such a grey area, it really is. And for me, just to keep it so simple, I do like to stick to capital gains tax exempt pieces like this Britannia coin here, just so I know I've got no hassle of worrying about um, of paying that. But essentially,
Yeah,
yeah, you do pay capital gain tax on gold and silver bullion. However, gold and silver coins that are legal tender, such as this Britannia coin,
yeah,
um, they're exempt. So you can pick and choose. I think it's better to have some gold and silver than no gold and silver. People go out there and spend money on things that aren't going to preserve their wealth or aren't going to increase as an investment. So sometimes myself, I get a little bit too caught up in the capital gains tax business. Um, but it's because I'm so engrossed in this as a business, as a YouTuber, as a content creator. You analyze and overanalyze everything. But when you get down to the nitty gritty, all you've got to ask yourself really is, are you saving money? Are you putting money into something that's going to potentially preserve your wealth and potentially increase it? And if you're investing in gold and silver, be it VAT or capital gains tax exempt, then it's a good thing. And you could be spending your money on things that aren't going to benefit you. So, either way, I think you're doing better than most people who aren't trying to be smarter with their finances.
yeah. No, absolutely. I absolutely agree with that. I mean, it's like you said quite regularly in your channel. Owning some gold and silver is better than owning no gold and silver. It's if you were thinking about going out and spending, something like a night out or something like that, where you're never going to see that money again. I
Yeah.
haven't spent, any of the money, any of the currency money that I've spent on these pieces in front of me. I haven't spent. I've converted it into this in front of me. That's never going to go anywhere. So that money has been converted into that. And at some point in time, I could, if I chose to. I'm not wanting to do it, but I could, if I chose to, convert that back from the physical silver into fiat currency, as it were. So
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely agree with that. I have noticed we've had a couple of questions.
Okay, brilliant.
The first one I saw was from Investing Tortoise, who's asked everyone's favourite books on finance. Any recommendations? He has already read Rich Dad Poor Dad, How to Own the World, and he's now starting the Psychology of Money. Any other good ones? How about yourself, Future? Have you got any other recommendations on the three he's already said there?
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, good question. I do like what's the book called? Oh God, I can't remember the name of it. I'm gonna have to find it out. I haven't read it yet, but I have a list of books I'm trying to buy, and and it's a book on how to not take things personally. And it's essentially, if somebody says "f you," it's got nothing to do with you, and it's got everything to do with them. And it's all about the mindset of not taking that negative information or insults from people, and really realizing that it's got nothing to do with you and nothing to do with them. I think on my own reading path, I've read Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. I've currently am reading How to Own the World by Andrew Craig, and I'm nearly finished. But I
Yeah.
think after that, that's two finance books in a row. I do also think it's about mentality and mindset, because if you haven't got that, then you're going to struggle, in my opinion. dealing
Yeah,
with finances and investing, because you need to be diligent and you need to have self-control. So
yeah,
I'm going to be slowly moving on to more mindset-based books and motivation books, and how to take criticism and things like that, and realizing that if someone is insulting you, it's got nothing to do with you, and it's got everything to do with them. So I'll find that book out for you. If I find it out later in a live stream, I'll let you know. But what about yourself, buddy? Are you much of a reader? And if you are, what are you into and what have you read?
yeah. I read loads of stuff. It's not necessarily finance related. I'll read. I'm just about to pick up Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. I've not long read through Homer's Odyssey. So I'll read certain books. But what I wanted to just say regarding the finance books is my personal opinion is I don't tie into them very well, and I'll explain why that is. Um, and as much as I recommend Rich Dad Poor Dad to people all the time, and the other two as well, I do, and I've said this to you before, future outside of YouTube, you'll be able to verify this. Don't tie too much into the advice. Don't look at them as a how-to book. Look at it as more of a generic. You're looking at the broader story of it and taking it all in, because a lot of the time, these people who write these books are investing in very different ways to what the average man can invest into. Like, we've spoke about Robert Kiyosaki and his understanding of debt, and he's very famous for saying debt is cash. Debt is money. That's what debt is. Debt is money, and it's because he lives in a very different world where he's able. He's got such a good credit rating. He's already so financially secure that the banks will, and financial companies will lend to him at such a low repayment rate that it near enough is free money. As long as he can make profit off that money by the time he's got to return it to the bank, I understand why he does that. But you can't do that as the average Joe who's not got that amazing credit rating, who's not got or everything you've got as collateral behind it. You're going to get stung with high interest rates. You're going to get stung with high APRs. You're probably not going to make as much profit off your loan as you are going to have to pay in payment rates. So there's a lot of things like that in financial books that I really don't tie to. I don't, I don't like looking into how other people have been made to how other people have been made to make their money, because I'm not them and I'm not in their shoes. So other than the broad strokes, the generic advice, their story isn't that relevant to me. So I read them if they're interesting, and I may have them on an audio book while I'm driving, etc., to save time. But again, that's my opinion on financial books. I'm not a massive fan of one person.
Mm. No, that's absolutely fair enough, and I agree with what you said. Almost take every of these books with a little pinch of salt, because generically they all have a targeted audience. They all have a targeted reason in their book. But I feel like the more you read on these specific finance books, the better your financial intelligence can become, therefore increasing the better opportunities and chances of you making wiser investments. But you do, in your opinion, like you said, and mine, I think have to take all of them with a little bit of pinch and salt. Take what you think is applicable to your lifestyle and your investment desires from each book, and put them in together as a group, and I think you can make it work for you. And really, it's all about having fun and learning. And I think those books are great fun to read. So if it's boring, no one's going to read it. So although they're a little bit dramatized and sometimes a little bit targeted, if they weren't, you probably would put the book down. So you can understand why they do it. But yeah, great topic. I just want to jump into the comments quickly, because we've got a lot of people in the chat. We've got Shiny Precious Metals is just leaving. They said dinner time. See you later, boys. Thanks for tuning in, Shiny Precious Metals. Stephen said, "Good evening, gentlemen. Welcome, Stephen." Supreme. We got John said, "I've got my girlfriend a few pieces of silver in the last couple of months, and she, like myself, is fascinated with the designs on these items." I think right now there's a lot of fantastic designs coming in, especially as you can see on your backdrop. You've got the dragon bars, Una and the lion, and some really amazing pieces. So it's a good time for precious metals right now. in my opinion, with the Perth Mint and some bullion dealers really bringing out some special pieces.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There's some really beautiful pieces being released right now. There really are, and yeah, and as you said yourself, you know, I am more of a fan of the commemorative pieces than the generic pieces. I said recently that I'm going to look more to just get one every year of the Standard Britannia, just as a date run. I've just noted that 365 Days of Silver's just popped a question for both of us. You were both offered a free 1 ounce coin. Can't be a Brit. Which one would you choose? So yeah, if you offered a free 1 ounce coin, which one would you choose?
If I was offered a free 1 ounce coin, are we talking silver or gold?
We're going to say, well, let's keep it silver. You know.
Yeah, I imagine he's talking about silver. I'm gonna be very boring and free 1 ounce piece of silver. Did he say it has to be a coin?
Can I just say? Can I just say? Would it make a difference if it was gold or silver? Would your choice be different? Because I don't think mine would.
Mine would. Yeah.
So if you had to pick a 1 ounce silver coin and 1 ounce gold coin, you'd pick different designs for each.
Yeah. Okay. My answer would be different. If it was a 1 ounce silver coin,
Yeah,
I would actually pick a 1 ounce dragon bar coin.
yeah,
I know they look like a bar, but they are actually a coin. So yes, my answer would be different because if it was silver, I would pick a 1 ounce dragon coin.
yeah.
But if it was gold, I would pick a 1 ounce Coronation Britannia coin.
Okay.
So the reason for that is I don't particularly stack items that aren't capital gains tax exempt. The
Yeah.
exception to my rule is my 1 ounce silver bar stack, and that would be the 1 ounce dragon coin.
Okay.
But when I get into the values of gold, because it's such a large value of money, I want that piece to be capital gains tax exempt, and that would add to my Britannia stack. So I would go for the King Charles Coronation 1 ounce gold Britannia.
Oh wow. Okay. It's interesting that although it's the same design, you pick different ones for the different metals, and it's really interesting to hear your strategy as to why that is. So that's great, mate. Thank you very much.
No worries. How about yourself?
Yeah, no, I think I don't know. I think it's very interesting to say, you know, how you go with the different ones. And I flutter. I hate questions like this because I flutter so much. If you ask me this question an hour from now, I'll probably give you a different answer because there's so many beautiful ones out there. Which one was the one with the fire and the rune stone looked like it was on fire? I can't remember the name of it. Please, someone help me in the chat. Hey, Stephen. Hey, Jay Ducky. Just noticed you guys in there. But if you can help me, there was a coin that was released a few months ago, probably about 6 months ago. It was probably by the Germanium Mint. And it looked like it had a glow, like inside the detail of it. And it had a runestone on it, and the engraving on the runestone looked like it was on fire. And that was absolutely beautiful. And it would probably be the one if I could have any, it'd be that. But I did see 365 did actually stipulate it would
I've
be
just
gold.
read that.
Yeah. So we've had yours in gold. Now it's interesting.
Yeah, I have to take that back, don't I? Because he said it can't be a Britannia, and if it's a Coronation Britannia, that doesn't work, does it?
Well, I let us know 365, but I think he just meant the standard Britannia, and yes, 365, the one that Backyard Bullion showcased, and I can't remember the name of it, but how beautiful was it? 365, it was stunning, and I'll think of the name of it future as soon as I can, and I'll get it across to you so you can have a look for yourself because it was incredible. It was a piece of art.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I'd love to see that. Gary, I saw Gary Crawford said his would be a maple. I did think about a maple. But yeah, I can understand why they're beautiful pieces. 365 said future investments, great choices. Thank you. I did see though that like we've just spoke about, Jay Ducky said it can't be a Britannia. So
Yeah.
in that case, I'm gonna go. If you're offering me a free piece of 1 ounce gold, that has to be a coin. I'm going for a 1 ounce dragon coin,
Yeah.
100%. Because it's free. I'm not going to be crying about the fact it's not capital gains tax exempt, and I'm going to get an awesome piece in my stack that I will treasure forever. So that would be my answer to it not being a Britannia.
Yeah.
But I've just seen 365 said Coronation isn't a Brit. It's one with the 6th May date on it. Yeah, he's right, isn't it? It's just a Coronation, I suppose.
That's the Coronation crown, and sorry, the Coronation 1 ounce coin. And as you'll see, you have the Martin Jennings crowned Charles on one side and the Royal Cipher on the other, and Britannia is nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, I believe there is a Britannia Coronation coin, isn't there? So I would take it back, and I would go for that piece, which is the Coronation King Charles non-Britannia.
Yeah, the difference with the standard Britannia Coronation coins, of course, is it also had the crown picture of King Charles on there as well.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, I just saw what. Yes, CY Sterling. That he said the Germanium mint rune bars. Yes, that's exactly right, because it was a series that the Germanium mint did, and the ones I was talking about with the runes, and it looked like it was on fire inside of it.
Yeah, I've just read some comment there. Ray said, I was at an antiques fair yesterday and there were some nice coins on offer that were from the Toki Law mints. I probably mispronounced that. They seem to do some good designs. I've not seen them. Have you heard of them, buddy?
That's not a mint I have heard of myself. So I will give them a check out, Ray, on your recommendation, mate. Definitely. I've just seen every cloud spot. I want the buffalo, bison, elephant.
I think that'll be an ongoing debate, even though it's been quarrelled and squashed. I'm still going to call it a buffalo. I can't help it.
There's nothing wrong with referring to it as the buffalo run. That's absolutely fine, as long as you admit the animal that's on it is a bison.
It's a bison. Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
It's the buffalo round, but it's not a buffalo on it.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. I've got my 1 kilo Silver Britannia here, and it's in a coin capsule case that Cobra Stacker was super kind enough to give me, because I was desperate for one, as you all know. It's gone a little bit. I'd say it's gone a little bit cloudy. It's got no milk spots per se, but it is a little bit cloudy. Now, that's probably because I've had it out of the capsule for content creation, and it's oxidized in the air. But do you think a piece of this value, this size, should have done that at all, or not? Or do you think it's a bit of silver? Stop moaning. Just leave it and forget about it.
Silver will patina at some point eventually. It will. Silver isn't like gold, where gold doesn't tarnish. Silver does tarnish. I've got some. Here we go. So it will very naturally get a patina to it, just like this is an older coin around. Here we go, 1887. So if the silver gets old enough, it will always get that toning or patina to it. So that's completely normal, mate. It's it depends how long it takes. If you keep them in the airtight capsules, it will take longer, but you can't ever truly stop that from happening.
No, I think you're right there, to be fair. And at the end of the day, most of us precious metal stackers are holding for 2 to 3 decades. If you're not handing it down to your family, if you're planning on selling it like I am, it's gonna as we know, like you say, silver tarnishes, and over decades, even if it just sat in your safe or your safe location and you never took it out, I still think there's going to be tarnishing there on the item. So there's not really too much point crying about it. It's just, as a content creator, you see it every time you take it out, so it's probably a bit more prominent than to someone who just stacks privately and sort of lets it sit there for years.
Well, that's what I admitted this to 365 Days of Silver a few months ago. But that's what actually got me into buying new bullion coins. I wanted something shiny, and I won't clean my old coins. I don't agree with cleaning coins. You devalue them. So instead of making my old coins look shiny, I started buying brand new shiny ones. So that appeased that need in me to actually see, because it is I'll be honest with you, because silver will eventually go black. It gets darker and darker, and it is nice to see a patina on a coin, but it's also extremely nice to see, and you can see this one is although it's a proof, this one has it's got like a yellowish, It's starting to get a
Yeah.
patina to it. You know what I mean? So it will always happen. There's not really a lot of things you can do about it eventually. Like Ray said, you can get things like coin dips. There's methods like I know you've done before, Future, with the baking soda and aluminium. I'm looking to do a video on my channel about cleaning coins going forward soon as well. So that's definitely something to look out for. But yeah, there are ways of conserving coins, and that's what it is when you look to restore a coin. It's coin conservation. It's not cleaning. So you would never actually put anything to the coin. Like you would use something like a dip or a non-invasive method of cleaning, like a bicarbonate soda in an aluminum dish, which has a reaction to it and nothing's actually touching it. So yeah, you could do things like that, but I don't recommend doing it. I never recommend cleaning a coin. Just let it be what it is.
Yeah, no, well said. I agree with you there. I've done videos on it, but I wouldn't recommend it. Just leave it as it is. Don't mess around with it. But that brings me on to gold. I think obviously we invest in gold because it's the better, larger wealth preservation device. But it just doesn't tarnish. It's so durable. You could bang it in the ground, and it's so strong. And that's such an appealing factor to gold, despite its price point being very high. Um, I love the fact that when I go and look at some of my bullion, I can always guarantee that the gold, despite the fact, even though I've taken it out of the capsules and handled it, it stands the test of time.
Yeah, Jay Ducky is just responding to what we were just talking about, saying I'd be worried to dip them, and I can see Stephen said, but I agree with Stephen. Don't overuse it. You can. The dip, it takes time. Tiny amounts of a coin away. So if you over dip it, you'll start losing the detail of a coin. The baking soda method, that's quite a good method. But again, if you're ever unsure about using the method of cleaning the coin, like we've said, just don't do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd just like to touch on some of the comments in the chat because they're
Hmm.
very interesting. A little bit of sharing going on here, which is always really exciting to see. Um, Jesse Bulkwill said, "My pension is good. My bullion is for the family. One day I will hand my children a box full of gold." And
Hmm.
Invest in Tortoise also said, "Yep, my gold and silver will be passed down to my daughter in 40 years." And Guardian Motorcycles, welcome to the live stream. Thank you for coming in. He said, "I've been thinking about a 500-gram Royal Mint bar, as I think they would possibly be more liquid in 10 years, but 1 kilogram bars are very tempting." Yeah, great point. So just touching on the first two comments regarding Jesse and Investing Tortoise talking about handing their bullion down. Like I said, I haven't got any children, so right now I've got no one to hand it down to. Um, but I can totally get that it would be a fantastic piece of investment to hand down to your niece, your nephew, your kids. But what do you think that's wise to hand your children a box full of gold per se?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's the best thing to do with your precious metals. I think precious metals as an investment should only be looked at something that you would ever liquidate in an emergency. It's something that's great to have there in the background. There's other things that are better investments to liquidate on a quicker basis, like who was it? Jason, yeah, Jesse Boltpool said themselves they've got a good pension. I've got a good investment that I use as my pension. We've talked about it many times. You're a fan of it too. It's the S&P 500.
Yes.
And I don't have kids myself either, mate. But I've got nieces, and there's another generation, and I love my nieces, and I want to make sure, like, they've got something when they grow up, and I'm gone, etc. But yeah, I think I for me personally, silver, and especially physical silver, you've got such a split gap that the longer you can hold it, and that transcends to keep it in the family from generation to generation. The more money you're going to get out of your investment. Now that does change when you start looking at what you've got in front of you, which is the Valcambi Suisse Bar, because your premium stock becoming much lower and lower and lower on those pieces, because you're not looking at a minted coin like you've got next to it. You're your Britannia. So what was the what do you know the price difference of those two right now off the top of your head at all? Or
Yeah. So the 1 kilogram silver bar is going to set you back about £800 on
yeah,
the nose, and the 1 kilogram silver Britannia coin here, that's going to set you back pretty much £1,000, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more.
yeah,
So there's a £200 premium difference between a 1 kilo bar and a 1 kilo silver Britannia coin. Now, it's very, very hard to justify buying the 1 kilo Britannia coin and spending £200 more just because it's capital gains tax exempt, when you can pick the same exact purity and weight of silver up for 200 quid less. So you can see why people refuse to do it and go for bars, and they're totally in a right to do that. But yeah, there's about £200 difference right now.
yeah, absolutely, and that's just the point I was getting to. That I can absolutely see the benefit of people going onto that kind of bar. Now, to go on to more of his original question, which was the liquidation of it. Now, whether or not 500 grand bar will be more liquid than a 1,000 grand bar, it will be. But then, that's when you start going back to coins, because it will never be as liquid as just your 1 ounce bar or coin. It doesn't. Sorry, it doesn't have to be coins, but the smaller it is, the more liquid it is. But it doesn't mean it's going to be the best buy, because there'll be people out there. The market is an array of people. Right, you've got your lower end of the market, with people who can maybe only afford one ounce coin a month, and then you've got people who are buying it literally by the ton. So there's people all over that spectrum. Whereas silver, I don't think it's the same as gold. Where gold, there is a genuine question over how liquid are these items going to be in 5, 10, 15 years down the line, when a 1 ounce coin becomes worth, I don't know, £5 grand. You're taking away a huge chunk of people that could previously have sold it. I don't think you're going to have that same amount of problem with silver, though. So I don't think, yes, a 500 grand bar will be more liquid than a 1,000 grand bar or a kilogram bar, but it would, they both will be fairly liquid on today's market, or the market going forward quite soon. And the other thing is, going on to your 1 kilo Britannia, mate. The good thing to remember is, yeah, if you look at the initial buy price, okay, there's a £200 difference. The resale price also matters as well, because if a resale price, you buy, you're going to get more for your coin is the same amount, but you'll get more for that bar, and you will, under the right market, you will get more for the coin in the resale than you will on the bar resale. It translates. So there is still definitely cause there to look at the CGT on top of that, because it may, you may still find that be actually out of the two, because I will get more money when I resell for the Britannia. It is still the better buy.
Yeah, great points. I do want to be a devil's advocate slightly and touch
Okay.
on what Guardian Motorcycle said, about he's worrying about, should I buy a 1 kilo bar? It's tempting, but I do think 500 grand bars will be more liquid. I want to give you an example and a true case in point of someone I know who isn't in the YouTube community in any way, shape, or form. They decided about a year and a half ago to completely liquidate their entire silver stack. Now, he had around £17,000 worth of silver bullion. He showed me an image of it. It was a pretty awesome sight. Most of it was in silver bars. He decided, which is in his own right, that he didn't think silver was a good investment anymore. He didn't see it going anywhere, and he wanted to liquidate his entire stack to get that money to put into a property. Now, talking about, should I buy that 500 gram silver bar for liquidity, or should I just go for a 1 kilo bar because it's more tempting? As you know, and as you've stated, you get more for your money when you buy bigger because you're paying less premiums. I don't think you ever need to worry about the liquidity issue, because this particular person, when he sold £17,000 worth of silver bullion, he literally called up the Royal Mint. They agreed a price. They sent a bloke down in an unmarked van to his property, looked over the bullion, agreed the agreed price, and they took it away there and then and transferred him the money. And that was as simple as that. Now, it's not common knowledge that you can do that. People think you've got to go and sell at a jeweler or a coin shop, maybe in the States, or even sell online. But you can actually call up bullion dealers direct, and they will come and collect it for you, obviously, when it's over a certain value, with no hassle. So I don't think you ever really need to worry about liquidity, because at the end of the day, there is always people with money out there that are going to be able to buy this precious metal asset.
Yeah, yeah, literally, like I just said there, mate. Yeah, and I absolutely agree with Cyber Salman as well. That, yeah, took words out of my mouth. I think you will be absolutely fine with any size silver. Gold is a totally different story.
Yes, yeah, very true. Welcome, Side the Sound Man. Thank you for joining the live stream, one of the channel members, alongside 365 Days of Silver. Really appreciate you being here. Some great comments in the live chat tonight, and I think it's got to be a consistent record for us, that collector, having 30 people throughout the live stream so far.
Yeah, that's an amazing number of people. Thank you to everybody who's come across. It's so cool to have you all here. And like you say, 30 people in the live, that is, I do believe, a record, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. Just touching back on something I'm very passionate about. You did touch on it a minute ago. The S&P 500. It seems to have pulled back from a little bit of a little dip it had recently. Are you still enjoying it? And would you recommend it to more people going forward? I know it's quite a popular topic, and as knowledge of it is becoming slightly more common, I find myself seeing more questions about the S&P 500 coming through in the comment sections of my videos.
Yeah, no, the S&P 500 is a great investment. It's what I use instead of a pension. I work for myself, so I don't have any work-based pension. So, I look into a dollar cost average or a pound cost average investment into this S&P every single month, which I put the same amount in every single month. And I've been doing for quite some time now, which means, even in the recent dip, I was still pretty healthily in green with it. I'm currently right now, I'm looking at 10.14% profit on my investment in the S&P 500. So yeah, it's something I definitely will be going forward with. It's not a get rich quick scheme by any means. It is definitely something that you want to be looking to invest in over for 10, 20 years, and look to liquidate that further down the line.
Yeah, that's awesome. 10% is fantastic. I know the average experienced professional investor pretty much always is looking for a return of at least 10% on their investment. That's what they consider to be a really worthwhile investment. So to see yours is at 10% is really makes me happy that my friend is doing well with his investment. Myself, my investment is only about 5 months into the S&P 500, and as you all know, it performs better over the long run. I think the average is after about 7 years it really starts to perform greatly. Mine's sitting at around 4%, which I'm really pleased with, considering I've only dollar cost averaged my way into it for 5 months now. So the sound man is responding to our chat about the S&P 500. He said, I found I'm doing really well
Yeah.
averaging at the middle of the month with the S&P 500. And 365 has said S&P 500, although I don't currently have it in my portfolio, it's my favorite stock by far.
Yeah, no, it is a great stock, and same say I have it, you have it. It's just performed so consistently year by year. It's a great. As I say, I think everybody should have a long-term investment pot. And this is something I was going to say earlier when we were talking about the financial books, etc. There's a million ways to make money out there, and no one of them's better than the other one, as long as it's making you more money. So it's like there are other stocks and shares out there. They perform differently at different times, but the S&P is one that year after year has consistently pretty much risen alongside inflation. And if you were dollar cost averaging like Sai is doing, like you're doing, like I'm doing, you will see those gains going forward. I do think Sai's right about the middle of the month. I assume what he means by that is he's buying in at the middle of the month, and he's finding that's a good time to dollar cost average into the S&P 500, which I'm more like 2/3 down the month, which has been performing very well for me. But one thing I will say is mine's doing really well right now. But one thing you got to remember is when I started this one, which was only a few years ago, it was at the beginning of a very large dip in 2021, and I was watching my money in the red month after month after month after month. But I didn't quit. I didn't sell, and I kept buying. And now it's come back through. It's going back up. And even like you said, when it has a little dip at times, yours, because you've not been in long enough, you might go into the red very, very briefly. Mine hasn't been into the red for quite some time now because of that dollar cost averaging, because I was buying through the dip.
Yeah, that's very good points. I mean, mine's only dipped once below into a negative, the first time in 5 months. I
Yeah,
think that's such a good investment, isn't it? Where it dips once below your investment input for 5 months. So yeah, highly
yeah.
rate the S&P. A lot of response to that in the comments. Just before we move on, because we have touched on this quite a bit before. There was a couple of comments. Si the Soundman, one of the channel members, said it's a great way to invest. You have to stay strong in the stomach whenever the year turns out badly.
Yeah.
And sorry, you guys are smashing the comments. It's keeps refreshing on me.
Okay, I've got some here.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. NGMD has asked, would you buy a bit of platinum to cover your odds? It's not on my radar at the moment, but literally going back to what I've just said, there's more than one way to make money. And, I've only got so much money to make, and you can't try and do everything. And platinum, it's a precious metal. It's as viable as gold or silver. It really is. I would never poo-poo platinum. It's just in appearance too similar to silver for me. So I'm rather just have, platinum's middle of the line. I'd rather be silver bottom, gold at top, and just stick to those two personally. But I see platinum is it's as good an investment as gold or silver.
Yeah, I don't currently hold any platinum, but I don't boo-boo it either. I think diversification is key. I'm severely focused on other investments as of now for the next couple of years. But once that's done, I'm going to increase my portfolio, and that might even mean including some platinum in that, maybe even some palladium. But I've just seen a very good question from 365 Days of Silver, one of the channel members. He said, "What are your thoughts on the FTSE 100?" Great question.
Yeah, no, I was literally going to bring it up. I was going to bring it up and say, don't forget. There's, again, going back to what I was saying about other ways to make money. That's why I was going to bring it up. Like there's other options, such as FTSE. You've got the FTSE 100, FTSE 250, even FTSE 500, and they're the top 100, 250, and 500. But then you've got other things like the Dow Jones as well. What all these have in common is their indices. Okay, they're not individual stocks, but every single one of them is a collection of different stocks, even top 100 companies in America, top 100 in England, in the UK, sorry, or SP 500 is the top 500 performing companies in America. So all of these great performing assets are all indices, and indices. I've said this to a few people. Long-term investment for me is indices / precious metals. Short-term investments is individual stocks and shares / commodities, and commodity could be gold or silver, but that's buying it as a stock rather than as actually as a physical item.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They're index funds. A fund is essentially a group of companies and shares of multiple different essential investments you can buy instead of buying an individual one. Just say you want to buy McDonald's, when buying an index fund, you're buying a group of them. It's a really great way for people who want to be hands-off investors. You can literally just dollar cost average their monthly income in investment into that per month, and it spreads out over a really strong diversification of good assets. When we talk about 365's question on the FTSE 100, it's essentially, if anyone doesn't know, the top 100 companies in the United Kingdom. And again, it's an index fund where you can dollar cost average your way into that. If you don't particularly want to do the S&P 500, which is the top 500 companies in the United States, if you want to stay UK based, then you can do the FTSE 100. But there is so many all over the world, like you said, the Dow Jones and all of those different countries. Every country pretty much has their own version.
Yeah, and there's bigger ones. There's even bigger ones than that. So there's like the emerging world market, which is not businesses, they're conglomerates of countries, and it's based on their GDP going up or down. I've just seen 365 put another amazing question in the chat there, which is dividend or growth stocks. Which one do you prefer?
Good question. Growth stocks, I think. I haven't really got either. I don't think. I'm so much more on the index funds. I'm reading currently about dividends and growth stocks on Andrew Craig's book, so I don't feel like I'm the best person to answer that question. But what would you say yourself, buddy, if you're up to that?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I have a mixture of both dividend and growth stocks, and all assets will be either dividend or growth. And what the difference is, just for anybody in the chat who wasn't aware, is a dividend stock or dividend asset is once every so often. It'll be a regular period of time. It could be every month, every quarter, or even every year. What they will do is they will pay all of their shareholders a percentage of the profit, and that's what's known as a dividend yield. So it could be, it could range from being 1% to 10%. So if it's a quarterly 10% dividend yield, every 3 months you get paid 10% of what you own in stocks from them, as a little thank you for being an investor into the company. So that's a dividend stock. They pay you, and what will happen is, every 3 months or whenever it is, you'll log into your account, and instead of available to invest zero, it'll be available to invest a bit of money there. A little bit of money will have appeared into your account from nowhere, and that's your dividend payment. You can either take that out just as cash, it's yours, you can do whatever you want with it, or you can reinvest it and put it back into the actual stock itself. Whereas a growth stock is, and where you find the difference is, a lot of dividend paying companies will be mature companies. They're fully set up. They've not really got anything that they need to do to expand the company any further. The company's, it's got a big headquarters. It's got a fully established factory or warehouse or whatever the company does. It's not, it's not having to take a lot of its money to reinvest, so it can take that out. Whereas a growth stock is something where they don't pay you anything, because all of the profits that company makes is spent back into the company to increase the value of the company forward. So rather than paying that to all the shareholders as a thank you, they reinvest into themselves to make the shareholders overall stock value greater. So if you've got £1,000 in say Amazon or Tesla, because Tesla don't pay a dividend, Tesla's reinvest into their money, and therefore their company became 25% better. Your £1,000 worth of Tesla stock will now be worth £1,250. So it's the different ways on how your money grows through stocks and shares. Now, dividend stocks, where they work really good is if you've already got a really good amount of money. And what you can do is you can take this money into a decent dividend paying company. You can, and I'm talking like a 10 grand minimum whack in there, the bigger the better. And what they can do is they can live off their dividends. They've got the money, they own the stocks, and then every so often they get paid their dividend payments, and that's what they live off. And if you've got enough invested into stocks, you can do that. So basically they're living for free. The value of what they own shouldn't go down. It can go up and down because it's the value of the company, but they're getting basically a wage, because there's some monthly dividend paying companies. So we can get a wage every month, we can get a wage every quarter, every year, etc. Now, if you're looking to build up your portfolio, I would definitely say either pick a growth fund or reinvest your dividends back into the company once you're paid them to really compound that interest and really make your portfolio grow. But once you've got a huge portfolio, you can take the benefits of taking the dividends out.
Yeah, your explanation and knowledge there was unreal. Felt you were much more equipped to answer that, and very, very well explained. I felt not really comfortable on that because I'm still learning about growth funds. I know literally right now in my book on from Andrew Craig on how to earn the world, he explains how a growth fund is a managed portfolio of stocks focusing on companies experiencing high periods of substantial growth, while other
Yeah,
types of like mutual funds might focus on like you said dividends
yeah,
or like a yield income.
yeah,
And you're right, if there's some people out there who've got enough money or have invested and bought in at the right time, you can live off those dividend yields. You really can. I think if you're a small time investor like myself, I would be looking to reinvest any dividends. I think Sider Salman mentioned that in the comments, and 365 said he does the same, because you can really compound that dividend into basically an interest. And I think that's a bit like what the S&P 500 is. It's a compound interesting effect. And you can choose on the S&P whether you want a dividend or an accumulating. I've done an accumulating because a bit like a growth fund, growth stock, I want it to an accumulate and build on itself. I want every asset, every bit of interest to work for me, not against me. So I can understand both aspects. If you're wanting dividends, if you know that your dividends are going to be paying you out such a significant amount that you can have a lifestyle off it, heck, go for the dividend paying, because you can fund yourself by that. But if you're small time and it's not really worth taking it out, I would reinvest it. That's what I would do.
yeah, absolutely. I can see McDonald Bullion's popped up to say dividend companies, Coca-Cola, tobacco companies, Walmart, Grove, Apple, Tesla, and Amazon. Yeah, you're slightly wrong on that. Apple do. I can see it's been addressed in the comments, but Apple have a very, very small dividend. I was in Apple last year. I pulled out at the beginning of this year. I didn't like them. I've never been a fan of Apple. I don't have an iPhone or anything like that. I'm a Samsung guy. So yeah, there's a small, very small, like 365, I think was that says about a pointless dividend. He would rather they just put back into business, which I absolutely agree with him. Amazon, absolutely, and Tesla, their growth companies. They were two I picked between. I looked into Musk versus Bezos, and I invested into Amazon, but I took out of Amazon very recently because they had a good spike, and it was a great point to because again these are individual stocks, so these are what I look at as small short term investments that I take out on a peak and hopefully try and buy in on a trough as well. Evercloud said he's probably about 25% portfolio in stocks and shares at the moment. How about you guys? But I'd be interested with you because you've been investing for quite some time, but precious metals, and you're now getting more into stocks and shares, aren't you, at the moment? So are you still like much more weighted in precious metals in your stocks, or are you kind of matching up? Or
No, you're right. I'm really enjoying being new into growth funds, dividends, index funds at the minute. It's really becoming something that I'm passionate about in my portfolio as diversification. But in response to the question from every cloud, a simple answer is my portfolio is heavily weighted in precious metals.
yeah,
I'm going to go ahead and say, of my portfolio, um, it's probably 60%. Sorry, it's probably 40% in precious metals. Um, I've got a fair bit in fiat cash, but that's because I'm saving for a large investment. Um, and then I'm probably only 5% right now into index funds.
yeah,
But I've only been doing it 5 months. So as time goes on and
yeah,
the compound interest builds on top of each other, I feel like those percentages are going to come a lot closer to each other. Maybe I might slow down on precious metals later on and build more into the index funds and take some of that cash away and put it back into precious metals and index funds. So right now, I'm much more heavily invested in precious metals, but I am looking to increase that index fund portfolio quite substantially. How about yourself, buddy?
Yeah, and you've also got your premium bonds, haven't you? Which I always forget about. To be fair, I don't know about you, but I don't.
Yeah.
But I'd probably say premium bonds would come under stocks.
Yes. Yeah. I feel like you can't really call it an investment. It's a fun way of saving money. And
Yeah,
don't get me wrong, I've made a hell of a lot. In fact, I've made more money from premium bonds than I have made from precious metals and my index funds combined. That's how good premium bonds are. So definitely not something to be left out and underrated, not spoken about, because when you look at the figures, it's made me the most money. But it's for me just a fun way of saving that cash. And when I
yeah,
save that cash, it's not just for saving, I'm saving it each time for an investment. But you're right, premium bonds definitely part of that portfolio, and that's essentially where I keep the bulk of my fiat cash while
yeah.
I'm waiting to release it on an investment.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good little like limbo zone for the cash where it's not fully in investments and it's not sat there losing value in cash. Because like an investment, I get it hard to sell at times because it's like, oh, it's doing good, but it could do better. Could do better if I leave it longer. And but the thing is with premium bonds is, it's a great little dip in a ball pot of cash to have where you don't have to take out your investments if something comes along that you really like. But to answer the question, I'm going on and not answering the question. I'm about 70% indices, 10% matched in precious metals and stocks and shares, and about 5% in premium ones.
That's really interesting on market indices. You're referring to like the S&P 500, Dow Jones, all of those sort of investments.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that's interesting. I know you're building your precious metal stack
yeah,
very slowly because it's not something you're heavily focused on from the scene. From what I guess, you do YouTube as a passion because you love collecting, you love stacking numismatic coins, um, and through that you're slowly adding precious metals to your portfolio. But
yeah.
essentially, in the background, working for you is your indices, your index funds.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I'm saying 10% because I'm guessing what I own in silver right now is about roughly what I've got in stocks and shares right now. But that being said, if I actually catalogued and took into account, I've got as many silver proofs as I have silver bullion. And then there's all the pre-decimal date run albums, etc. I'd probably am more heavily weighted in precious metals when you look at it like that. But then if you look at it as like a per weight, if I was to add it all up and look at it as spot value, I'm not sure. I need to. I've been saying to myself, I do need to go through and actually see how much weight of which type of silver, like 999, 925, 900, 500, etc. Work it all out and see what I've actually got in precious metals, which is something I'm going to be doing as soon as possible. But it's like you said, I like you with the stocks. I'm very new with the bullion investment stuff, so I'm learning a lot when it comes to that kind of stuff all the time. Like we were saying earlier, I don't worry too much about capital gains tax, purely because as well as a stacker, as you well know, I'm at least as much, if not probably quite a bit more, a collector, and I'm willing to pay the capital gains tax to have my collection expand.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I do love that question. It really opened up something that's maybe not spoken about enough is your percentage of your portfolio. So thank you, Every Cloud, for a fantastic question. He said, thanks for the answers, guys. I'm quite often questioning my balance, so it's good to hear what others go for. 365 said, I'm around 20% in stocks. And Cider Salman said, future investments, you're very lucky with premium bonds to be your best. Thank you, Brian. Yeah, I have been lucky. Side the Soundman also said the thing is future investments. Your portfolio is solid. You don't have to worry too much about which gives you a higher yield. And I think that's a good point, because if you're not diversified, you might have to consider worrying more about your only investment. But when you do diversify, you really do feel covered in all areas. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not even as diversified as most of you guys. But I feel solid. I do feel protected by giving a really good broad range of capital invested into assets. It's a really good feeling, I've got to be honest.
Yeah, no, it is, and diversification is great, and it's so important if you ask me. Now, I'm the reason I'm so much more heavily weighted into indices is because how I told you the story before. I've got an old investment pot which I put about £1,500 in. Years and years ago, and I forgot about it. I forgot it even existed because I had so much going off my life at the time, moving house, moving jobs, ending a relationship. So, it just completely lost my mind. And a couple of years ago, when I started getting back into stocks and shares, etc., one of the first things I did is I went and consolidated all my pensions, because I had quite a few different pensions with different places. So I looked into doing that first, and in that process, getting out all my old boxes with all my finance, all my old pension statements, etc. I came across this one Fidelity account. I was like, well, what's that? I looked into it, and it gained something like £8,000 over the time. I just completely forgot about it. So, I've seen so much benefit myself through the S&P 500 that I'll never walk away from it now. You know what I mean? It's given me such great results in the past, but that will always be a good solid part of my portfolio. But I definitely want to diversify more into the precious metals. I want to get investment wise. I'm going to be honest with you. When I buy silver, I'm probably buying it for my collection. But when I buy gold, I'm going to be buying that as close to spot as possible. As I'm going to be looking more with my investment head on rather than my collector's head on, and I'm going to be trying to get that. When you're a true blue stacker, it's all about getting it as close to spot as possible. That's what really matters. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Very well said. And McDonald Bullion's just said a fantastic point. He said, think of diversification as pillars. If one gets knocked out, you're still going to be held up by all of the others. I've never heard that before, but it's so true. It really is a testament to how diversification works for you. Sider
Yeah.
Salman said, great advice, Mac. And yeah, just really, really interesting. I do just want to move on to a comment before we lose it, because everyone's absolutely enjoying this so much. The live chat's going crazy. So sorry if we miss any of your questions in advance. It's not on purpose. We're just so involved in chit chat and answering some of your questions that sometimes some might get missed. But never ever, welcome to the live stream. I've not seen you here before. He said, hello. At my current budget, I can afford one quarter ounce Gold Britannia coin every 3 months, or 5 gram gold bars every 2 months. Which would you choose in my place? So he said I can afford a quarter ounce Gold Britannia every 3 months, or a
Okay.
5 gram gold bar every 2 months. What would you choose?
So that's 7 grams every 3 months, 5 grams every 2 months.
Yeah,
Um,
correct. Well, 7.7, but yeah, 7 grams.
I'm doing it quick now. Yeah, okay. I'm going to say you've got see, this is the thing when it comes to investing, it's not like one clear answer. You've got a lot of things you've got to consider. So like we said, what you're buying at, what break down your quarter ounce per gram, etc., and which one's the most best value for money right now. But then again, which one's going to be more liquid? Are you going to find it's easier to sell a quarter ounce Brit or a 5 gram gold bar? I think it is going to be easier to resell a quarter ounce Brit going forwards. I would possibly be more inclined to go with the quarter ounce Gold Britannia every 3 months over 5 grams Gold Bar every 2 months. How about yourself, future mate?
Yeah, agreed. Quarter ounce Gold Britannia for me. At least if you go every 3 months, uh, um, you know you're going to be picking up a good amount of quarter ounce Gold Britannias in the course of the year. You know, it's not going to be a mental amount, but it's probably still more than most people buy in a year anyway.
Mhm.
I think both of them are such low values, you don't really need to worry if they're capital gains tax exempt because they're well below the tax threshold limit. So that doesn't really come into play. You are going to be getting slightly more for your money with the quarter ounce because, like with all of precious metals, the bigger weight you buy, the less you pay in premiums. However, the opposite to that is bars tend to be cheaper than coins. So it's a good question. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer, but from my experience and my personal stack that I have, I would go for a quarter ounce Gold Britannia every 3 months.
Yeah, I mean, they're not, like you just said, they're not the only two options in the world, and I probably wouldn't go for either of them myself. McDonald Bulling's just said in the comments about how liquid and you know how cost you know, super low premium sovereigns can be, and it's true. Sovereigns can be really liquid. You can get them at really, really low premiums, and they can also, although they're not bullion standard anymore, they're 21 carat, not 24 carat. They can still be a great gold investment. So that's also something else to consider instead of a quarter ounce Brit, a sovereign instead. Again, like you've just said yourself, Future, very correctly, there's no right or wrong answer, and there's a lot of things to look into before you make that decision.
Yeah, I mean, I've just worked it out. If he's going for the quarter ounce Britannias, he's going to be able to pick four of those up in a year.
Mm.
But if he goes for the bars, he's going to get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. He's going to be able to get 6 5-gram gold bars in a year versus getting 4 quarter ounce Gold Britannias. So if you want your stack to look bigger, go for the bars. But if you want to put more wealth into single assets at a time at a slightly lower premium, then gold coins at quarter ounce are probably best. Um,
But so what was it's 4 a year, isn't it? So that's
yeah,
because that's
4 quarter ounce a
so
year,
okay.
six bars a year.
So 4 quarter ounces is your 31 grams, your ounce, yeah.
Yep.
Six, you say 6 times 5, that's 30, isn't it?
Sorry.
Was it
Six.
6 5 gram bars?
Yes, correct. Yeah, 2,
That's
4,
6 times
6, 8,
30.
10, 12. Yeah. So,
Uh,
um,
Is that 6 5s is 30 if I'm not wrong, isn't it?
yes.
So you get more gold for your money with the you get more gold per year with the quarter ounces as well.
Yeah. There's your answer.
Yeah.
That
You're
if
getting more a year with the quarter ounces than you are with 5 gram bars. So you know you get more gold per year. It's more liquid. We already said it earlier, but I'm definitely compounding the quarter ounces.
Yeah, there you go. I think that was a pretty good live breakdown there from us both. So you're probably not going to get a better answer than that, buddy. I hope that answers your question. Well done there, Stat Collector. I think we did well with some quick maths there.
Yes, that's the most maths I've done in a long time.
Yeah, I was using my fingers there off of camera as well.
And I've got my toes out now as well.
Yeah, yeah. Never ever said. I see. The quarter ounce is the better decision. Thanks
Yeah.
again. Yep, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Stephen said though, save up and buy a 1 ounce gold coin per year. That's a whole different debate. But
It is. It is a different debate, absolutely, and I have to disagree with Stephen a little bit because of the whole questionability over the liquidity of gold going forward. Like we both said, wouldn't worry about it with silver, but gold is different. I would maybe worry a little bit about gold going forwards.
yeah, I agree. I think I'd rather have 4 quarter ounce gold Britannias a year than 1 ounce. For liquidity, and I just would feel more satisfied with that. To be honest with you.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and I think it was the consensus in the comments as well. I definitely saw 365 said quarter every three. Every cloud came in as well as alongside Max say sovereigns for me. And to be honest with you, mate, that's where I lie. The debate to me would be whether or not a quarter ounce Brit every 3 months or a full sovereign every 3 months.
Yeah, I'd still go a quarter ounce Brit.
Yeah.
I just want to say, Guardian Motorcycles, he said, good chat. Thank you, guys. That's for me for tonight. Thank you for tuning in, buddy. Appreciate your time and your comments. But going back to that, quarter ounce gold Brit or did you say a 1 ounce sovereign?
Yes, yeah. That would be more of the question rather than a quarter ounce against the 5 gram. I don't think the 5 gram is the best option. There is definitely a viable choice, decision to be made between a sovereign and a quarter ounce. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. For me, it's a no-brainer. I'm not really interested in sovereigns, not for any negative reason. I just prefer stacking 24 carat bullion over 22 carat. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
But they are lower premiums. They're very, very popular. They've historically been around for a long, long time. A bit like Krugerrands. What would you go for if that was the question?
Do you know what? I've come to a decision, future. I'm going to mix it up and get a bit of it each. Because as you know, I started on the quarter ounce Brit. And then recently I've gone, you know what, it's for history, I love the sovereign. So why not get just alternate it up, get a quarter ounce, then get a soft, then get a quarter ounce, you can do both if you want.
Yeah, absolutely. 65 has said also buying quarter ounce is a nice way to pound cost average into gold. And that's a good point. We didn't touch on that. If you were to save up for a 1 ounce gold coin instead of buying those quarter ounces, you're not dollar cost averaging into gold. And they say, I believe in the don't try and time the market.
Yes.
It's better to just be in the market.
Yeah.
And, if you're going to wait 12 months saving up for a 1 ounce gold coin, you would have lost out probably in price fluctuation up movements in a whole 12 months, that it probably would have been much more cost effective to get those quarter ounce pieces. So dollar cost averaging is a really important thing to consider if you're looking at doing it on a budget. I feel like some of us have maybe got a bit of spare cash that we don't need to consider buying gold on a dollar cost averaging basis. But if you are someone that has to save up 3 months at a time to get a quarter ounce way, it's not actually a negative. It's actually a positive, because it means you're dollar cost averaging your way into gold. So you could look at it and go, oh, I haven't got as much money as other people. It takes me so long to buy it. Well, actually, it's doing you a favor because you're dollar cost averaging into an asset, which is really smart.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree, and that's again, if you prefer the sovereign, like a few guys did in the comments, it's the same thing. You dollar cost averaging into gold, just a different form of gold. I just wanted to say, Exeter Beekeeper is here in the chat, so I want to say hello. But they've asked a question: are 1/10 gold Britannia coins worth buying? Do you want to go with that one, or do you want me to take that one, buddy?
Yeah, I'll take that one. Brilliant question. It's not actually asked as much as I think it should be, because it's such an entry level way into gold bullion. For me, I wouldn't recommend. Oh no, I don't think that's fair to say. So his answer, his question is: are they worth buying? Yes, absolutely. Of course, they're worth buying. Buying into gold bullion is worth it, whether you're buying quarter ounce, 1 ounce, or 1/10 ounce, because you're investing into something that's going to preserve your wealth. Ignore the premiums for a minute, because you can be spending your money on something that isn't going to preserve your wealth. So I'm going to say a simple answer is yes, it's worth buying them because you're investing in gold bullion.
Yeah, absolutely right for those reasons. But personally, and I think you probably agree with this, although it is always worth buying 1/10 gold coins, if that's what you want, you will normally find 1 gram gold bars are a lot more popular than 1/10 gold coins are. And so I wouldn't buy 1/10 gold coins, because that money I'd put toward 1 gram gold bars. I don't know if you'd agree with that, Future.
Yep, completely. Undoubtedly. And a simple way to prove that I agree with you is I don't own a single 1/10 coin, but I do own multiple 1 gram gold bars. And you're
Yeah,
right, 1 gram gold bars are a lot more popular. You can see that from videos from content creators. 1 gram gold bars always do very well. 1/10 gold coins video don't. And yeah, I just feel like if I was spending that lower volume of cash, I'd rather have,
yeah,
save up and get two 1 gram gold bars at a time instead of getting 1/10 ounce. I know 365 has just said, I'm not a fan of 1/10 ounce gold coins. I like 1 grams or quarter ounce when buying gold. And that's the exact
yeah.
same as me. I couldn't
Yeah.
agree more.
Yeah, and that's 100% what I recommend. If you're looking to buy bullion gold, and you're not bothered about the history, you just invest in, the two I look at is the 1 gram and the quarter ounce, and they're the most popular. They're the most, so therefore they're the most liquid. And they're a great idea to concentrate on those. I mean, obviously we're not finance advisors. We're just giving people advice on what we've come to find. But
Yeah.
definitely, like you just said yourself very rightly, look at the amount of videos that are on 1 gram gold bars, quarter ounce, compared to others. When you're looking at the investment, not like old collectible coins, not like ducats or sovereigns, etc. When it's for bullion, it's by in my opinion, in a long way, the most popular is 1 gram and quarter ounce, like yourself and 365 have said.
Yeah, absolutely. GNS Metals has joined the live stream. He said, "What's up, 365 and McDonald? Welcome, buddy.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining the live stream." Cider Soundman said, "Would you rather buy a half-ounce sovereign?" I'm going to throw something in there as well and say, what about a half-ounce Britannia? Me personally, I really don't like them. I never will buy one. I think if you're going to save up to buy a half-ounce Sov or half-ounce Brit, you might as
Yeah,
well save fully and go for a 1 ounce.
yeah, yeah.
I just don't see the point.
No, I absolutely agree. That's the point I was trying to make before, when I was saying about those two being the most popular. I think although there's an array of options of sizes to buy, there are some that are better buys than others. Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. I've just literally while we're live streaming, I've had an email pop up from YouTube, and they've just told me that it's the Future Investments birthday today. It's an anniversary on my channel. 2 years. Um, it says 2 years apparently.
Wow.
Hooray! It's your channel's birthday.
Oh my God, we're here. This is actually, we didn't realize this is the Future Investments birthday bash, people. Everybody, literally everybody, please right now hit happy birthday in the comments for Future Investments.
You definitely don't need to do that, but you can all sing happy birthday.
I will.
No, we don't need that, but thank you. But yeah, that's quite special.
No,
Yeah.
it is. And I am so happy to be here, enjoying this night with you. But I'm touched that I get to be here for this, mate. That's amazing. Thank you so much for letting us on there.
Oh mate, yeah, I wouldn't. I'm so happy to have you here.
Here they
Doing
come.
the live streams is the best thing ever. Oh my god, the comments are
Here they
going
come.
mental.
Here they come. Thanks, people. You've not let me down. Thank you so much. Oh no, man, that's amazing. That's
Oh,
amazing. Good.
thank you
And
guys.
I think it's been a really good one with some really, really detailed, not detailed conversation, because we've had some such great questions tonight. It's been amazing with the comments, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's to see so many people. We've got 31 people in the live stream right now, 27 likes. You guys are still saying happy birthday. Thank you. um, it's crazy, and it's great inspiration for smaller YouTubers out there.
Yeah,
It's a long slog trying to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Some people never make it, and you can understand why. So just think where I came from, making videos in my flat. I used to go in my spare room, and I think I had two 1 gram gold bars and about two 1 ounce silver Britannias. I used to put them on the sofa bed and film a video there. And now I'm in a house. I've got a mortgage. I've got diversified investments. I've got a good stack of bullion. I've made fantastic friends on YouTube. I'm earning revenue. in what 2 years, it's mental. So thank you so much. But I hope that can inspire up and coming YouTubers in the community.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and I'm well put, mate. And I've been following you for a while now. I wasn't around at the beginning of your channel, unfortunately. I blame the algorithm for that. I absolutely wouldn't if I'd have known. But you know, as you know, as soon as I became aware of your channel, I've been there all along, watching every single video, and you do some absolutely incredible content. There's been some amazing videos, some funny videos, some great advice. You've been to bullion dealers and brought some incredible pieces to us through YouTube. So I just want to say, for myself and on behalf of every single one of us here in the chat, thank you so much for the last 2 years of incredible content you have provided for all of us.
Oh, mate, I'm going to well up. I'm going to well up. That's mental. Thank you so much, buddy. It means a lot. It's bloody hard. I'm not going to lie. You work, you have a family, everyone has a life, and all you content creators will know how much of a graft it is. And I'm just looking at my channel analytics now, and in the lifetime of my channel, I've had 415,000 views and 14,000 hours of watch time. So, yeah, you guys have spent a lot of time sitting on my channel watching some of my content that may even be considered controversial. So I really appreciate it.
One or two controversial stuff along the ride there, definitely, mate. How many watch hours did you say there was?
How many watch hours? There's 14,000, exactly 14,000 watch hours so far.
And only 12,500 of them were me.
Yeah, I reckon you was about 13.9 thousand, to be fair. Yeah, it does say here that the permanent viewer of the channel is the stat collector. So, mate, you're the only person, to be fair, that's ever had access to my actual channel.
Yes.
So that's pretty cool.
Absolutely. Talk about behind the scenes.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
I felt so nervous you being there. I was like, don't press the wrong thing. Don't be very careful. Don't break
No.
anything.
It was cool to let you be able to do it, to be fair. I didn't even know it was possible. But yeah, very, very cool.
It really did help back because obviously when we started these, we started them pre-recorded, didn't we? It was really helpful for me to get the videos uploaded rather than us messing about, sending me stuff, me sending you stuff, and it just took ages, didn't it?
Oh, mate, the idea was nice, but you're right. We would pre-film, send it across, you would re-edit it, upload it, and then one day you was like, "Why don't we just do a live stream?" And
Yeah.
it's just grown from there.
Yeah, it's so much easier for one thing and better because the engagement part of it just is what makes it, isn't it? You know what I mean? It really is for people in the comments.
Yeah, and that's a massive point for any of you content creators out there or people thinking about starting a channel. The biggest thing is engagement with your audience. You can make as many videos as you like, they can be as good as you like, but if you're not replying to your comments, you're not going over to other people's channels and supporting, it's really going to make a deficit to growing your channel. So that's a bit of advice I'd give everyone. But just going to some of the comments, 365 said there's 33 people in the chat. Mental. Every Cloud said, let's have a game of pass the parcel with a 1 kilogram Brit. GNS Metal said that 1 kilogram Britannia is a birthday cake.
I like it.
Yeah, loads of amazing comments. Tyler JR, welcome to the live stream. He said, what do you think of 10-gram Gold Britannia bars? Great question. I'll pass that over to you, buddy.
Yeah, it's a great question, but I do feel we've answered it by what we said about the other sizes, by saying, what we think about the sizes we buy in bars and coins. So I'm the same on a 10 gram as I am a 5 gram. I think when it comes to gold, the only ones that are really on my radar are 1 gram, quarter ounce, and full ounce.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I agree entirely. What 1 gram, quarter ounce, and full ounce. Yeah, we don't need to really touch on it too much more because we went over it, but completely agree. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to say, respond to 365 Days of Silver, who says, TC, any idea on any updates on the Secret Santa idea? And yes, there absolutely are already Secret Santa generators online. So yes, we can absolutely do a Secret Santa between all us creators, and it'll be generated online. You'll put your details in, and someone will get you, and then you'll get somebody else. So yes, it is absolutely possible, and anyone who will want to take part of it will be absolutely welcome to do so.
That's a brilliant idea. I'm completely up for that. 100%. That would be amazing. And now 365 has got his own PO box, hasn't he? So that works really well. He has recently released a video on should you buy a safe, should you own your own Liberty safe. I haven't yet watched it. It's on my to-do list tonight, but I don't know if you've seen it. But I really enjoy videos on safes. I find it very interesting.
Yeah, future, I'll let you know, because it has only just come out. We were setting up lives, etc. But yeah, what's happened is Liberty. So the FBI wanted to. Well, you know what? Actually, if you want to know what happened, go and watch the P65 Days of Silver's video. Find out more.
Yeah, that's fair. Because if we give too many spoilers, no one's going to watch it.
I'm not doing that yet. But let me know when you do get a chance to watch it. But Liberty, I've been quite disgusted, in my opinion, in their customer care / service part of their business. So yeah, when you get a chance to watch that a little later, we'll have a chat on that one.
Yeah, awesome. No, very, very well. Fair play there. Just looking at your channel, buddy, you've been here since 12th of February this year, content creating. You've got 23,000 views, and you've got 94 videos and 481 subscribers. So very, very close for you being able to do your giveaway, which is an extremely generous giveaway, I must say.
Yes. 500 subscribers. I am going to be giving away 2 prizes. One of them is going to be one of the 2023 Martin Jennings Standard Non-Crowned Britannias, and the other one is going to be both the 50p and £5 brilliant uncirculated coronation coins. So yeah, as soon as I hit 500 subscribers, I will be drawing the name out of the list of the participants. If you want to go ahead and enter, and you haven't done so already, you have to go. There's a certain video that's it's in my channel. If you're not a subscriber, it'll pop straight up. If you are a subscriber, it's 500. It's now been called 500 subscriber giveaway. You just need to go on that. I put a link to it in all my recent videos, so just go on the last video, and there'll be a link to it in there. And you just need to put a comment saying 2 specific phrases, and they're the phrases I'm going to be used to randomly pick a winner. And yeah, very, very hopefully very soon we'll be doing that, and I'll finally be able to give those coins away, because they've been in my possession for far too long now.
Yeah, awesome. And I'm looking forward to seeing those be given away. Stephen said, what about starting a Discord server? That would be awesome. Well, there is actually something already in play. 365 Days of Silver has opened up his own community, and I
Yeah.
gotta say, it's amazing. There's so many people in it. It's really, really popular. So it's on Telegram, and it's a Stackers social group. You can find it by going to 365 Days of Silver YouTube channel, clicking on his latest video, and it's in the description with a link. So that's why we're not going to be doing anything like that, because 365 has already done it, and it's a brilliant and fantastic idea from him. But 365 has just said, nah, tell him the Stat Collector. It's a great topic. Liberty Safe scandal needs to be discussed. It would be interesting to hear future investments thought on it. And he said, Mac, take care. So take care, McDonald Bullion. Thanks for tuning in, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely, Don. You take care. Yeah, I just want to say, in regards to Stacker Social, it is also the link to it is also in the description of all of my latest videos too. It is a great place to hang out with like-minded fellow precious metals investors and collectors. I just want to take this moment, because I've had questions by people, because Telegram might not be the most well known app out there. Just to confirm, it's completely free of charge. There's no cost whatsoever. All you have to do is create a Telegram account. Now, once you create the account, your telephone number will be on show. There are you go into your settings and you can turn that off. You can hide all your personal details, so you can just see the name. As I say, it's completely free. You can remain as anonymous as possible as you want, and it really is a great place to come over and hang out with myself, Future Investments, 365 Days of Silver, and so many other precious metal lovers. It's something I wanted to talk about today as well. So thank you very much for bringing that on, mate.
Yeah, no worries. It's well worth joining for sure. You've got nothing to lose, only to gain by joining it, especially regarding investments. But yeah, would you be up to just giving me a little bit of information on the Liberty Safe scandal? But don't spoil it, because either way, I'm still going to watch it. But I would love to hear your thoughts on the breakdown of it.
Well, what I'm going to say is I'm not going to talk about the story of it, and I still recommend watching 365 Days of Silver video because it's a great video. But basically, there's a backdoor access code to the Liberty safes, and they've, without legal requirement or legal obligation to do so, we've provided somebody's access code to the FBI, who have been able to just get into somebody's safe. So there's a big hoo-ha about the company right now. A massive question over whether or not they should have done that, which I absolutely do not think they should have done that. If you've done something wrong, then police should be able to provide a warrant for that information, which they didn't do, and they just handed it over willy-nilly. As far as I'm concerned, it's a massive breach of data protection.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, that is insane, especially if you own a Liberty safe. I don't, so I don't have to worry about that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to watching that.
Yeah, no, but what I want to say is, speaking of safes, I want to raise as much awareness of this as possible, because we're in the precious metals sector. Do you know those digital safes you can get?
Yeah, sure.
You know, I've got one, but it's not to hand right now, so I could show it. But I just want to say to people to never, ever, ever, ever buy one of those safes. You can get into them in 5 seconds flat without any tools whatsoever, just by hitting them on the top of the safe. They are so and the ones I'm talking about, we've got the little number pad on them. We've also got a little twisty handle where you can twist it, unlock it with a key and twist it. But it's the digital pad that causes them to be so insecure, because what it is, there's a magnetic mechanism which the electronics turn the magnet on and off. So when the safe's locked, the magnet's on and it pulls a pin up. Okay, and that pin stops the bolt being able to slide across. Now, what you do is, I've literally done it because I lost my battery died inside of it. I had to get in, and I went on YouTube, saw how to do it. They say to use a mallet, etc. I just use my clenched fist, bashed it on the top, and what happens is it can make the impact of you hitting it has a stronger force than the magnet has on the piece of the metal pin holding it in place. And that will very, very, very quickly drop out of place, and you twist the handle as you do it, and it will just open just like that. And they are so unsecure, so never buy one of those safes.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're referring to. The typical 30, 40 pound Amazon digital keypad safes.
Yeah,
they're not safe. And at the end of the day, if you're investing in precious metals, you're gonna be doing this seriously, most stackers, and your stack's going to increase over time. So you might as well invest in a good safe that's large enough to store a large amount of precious metals. Now, the next question I would put to you is, okay, those aren't very good, but what about the big safes, the ones that are rated and rated up to £40,000 worth of cash inside, yet they still have a digital keypad? Would you still stay away from them, even though they're a bigger rated safe?
It's the mechanism inside. So what you're probably going to find is a more expensive digital safe is going to have a completely different mechanism, which is it doesn't have that flaw in it for you to take advantage of. So yeah, the more expensive rated ones can be better. It's specifically the ones you're talking about, around 40. We're going very, very slightly different sizes. But yeah, those ones, small box sized, they're the ones to stay away from. The more expensive, more higher rated ones are definitely worth looking into. And saves is something that you can't spend too much on a safe. You can't get too good a safe. There's a range of it where you can start low and it's okay. It'll do you. Like 365 got one recently, which was a square metal box, but because it didn't have the keypad, it was just key to open it. That's really secure on it. So if you bolt that down to the floor, put it on, somewhere where people's not going to find it very quickly, that could, just that on its own can be more than good enough.
100%. And going to some of the comments, you guys have touched on the safe topic. 365 said, my brother forgot the combination on his safe and he opened it with some basic tools in around 5 minutes. And Stephen said, I have a very old key safe. I think it's a chub safe. The stat collector is right. Those digi safes are rubbish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I personally, when it comes to safes, I stay analog. I keep away from. You don't need digital components in it. Anything electronic can be, it can be bypassed a lot easier and hacked a lot easier than an old. Not all locks are great. Some locks are much better than others. Which is why I say, it can be worth spending a little bit of money on a safe. 365 says it was obviously a £30 cheap small safe home to hotel room type. So yes, but my point is, it's still far better than those digital safes because it doesn't have that flaw in it. I would go with one you got recently every single time, and they're not a bad idea. Just a little small, especially if you've got somewhere in your house that's a little bit of a hidey hole. Have that hidden inside of it, bolted in preferably, and you probably find out 9 times out of 10 that's going to be more than enough for what you need.
Yeah, exactly. There's so many different things when talking about safes. Having a deterrent safe. Sometimes you can have such a good location that you don't even need a safe. I'm not going to say which video this is, but 365 a long time ago did a video on a location where you can store your bullion, and it was unbelievably smart. Now, I'm not going to give that away because you need to go back through his videos and find it. And it might be where a lot of people store their precious metals. I don't think it is because it's very using a lot of initiative, but you can be clever where you store it. But at the end of the day, if you're investing in precious metals, spending thousands and thousands of pounds, spend money on a good safe because it's just not worth it otherwise. Why would you spend £1 million on a Bugatti and leave it on your driveway to get wet and sit in the winter every summer? You just wouldn't do it.
No, exactly. It makes sense. I mean, I've said it before on our chats. I recommend everybody have a home safe, even if you're not a precious metals investor. Everybody's got valuables or heirlooms of some sort or another, and there should be a safe in every home, in my opinion.
Yeah, I've just seen a comment by Every Cloud, and he said, I'm probably going to invest in a safety deposit box next year, about £120 or so for the year. 365 per safety deposit boxes. That's a whole new topic. What if the bank closes? Very good point.
Exactly. I mean, the only problem to me about safety deposit boxes is it's in somebody else's hands. And I don't like the idea of my precious metals being in somebody else's hands. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And at the end of the day, safes have been robbed. There was do you remember the Hatton Garden job, was it, in London?
Oh, and that is just one of many in history where banks and vaults with safety deposit boxes have been, have been broken into. But also, not only that, okay, look at wartime and how many safety deposit boxes were just stolen during the Second World War, etc. So something could happen economically which could instantly prevent you getting access to that box. And that's that's why for me I just prefer. I know safety deposit box £120 a year. It's a company, they can afford much better security, etc. But that security can be keeping you out of your precious metals if the wrong thing happens.
Exactly. And I wouldn't want to personally spend £120 a year. It would irritate me. I would rather spend five, maybe even £600 on a large, secure safe. And once you've paid that money, you can hold that safe for 20 years. It's
Yeah.
going to be probably at that amount of money so large that it would
Yeah.
take you 20 years to fill it up anyway.
Absolutely. I completely agree. I think the best thing to do is a combination of safe and hiding place. Hide your safe. And I think if you do that and you've got a fairly decent sized safe, like you say, it's going to take you a long time to fill it anyway. And what most people find, and I'm sure all the seasoned stackings, including yourself, will agree with me on this. But what you find is, most silver stackers stack silver up to a point where we've got so much silver, and then we start looking to get gold. And we'll start stacking more gold. And a lot of silver stackers will actually get to a point where we've got so much silver, they actually start converting the silver into gold.
Correct.
To reduce it down. So what you'll probably find is that after you get more serious and more into it, you're going to start looking to get gold. And one good thing about gold is it's so easy to store. You know what I mean? Because £5 worth of gold versus £5 worth of silver. You know what I mean? There's a difference in the storage there, isn't there?
Oh my God, night and day, night and day. You're right. You can see why a lot of people prefer to stack gold and sometimes even sell their silver
Yeah.
for just that reason alone. Yeah, so good points. What's your thoughts on fireproof storage and fireproof safes and those fireproof bags you can get? Do you think they're a smart idea to cover yourself in a fire?
Yeah, I mean, I do. Yeah, I think having fire rated and fireproof safes, it is a good idea. Isn't it? That's going more into what I was saying earlier about putting more money into a safer bet, because there's more things than just theft to worry about. With fire, and if your safe is it caught in the middle of a house fire, yes, your silver will still be there, but it won't necessarily look the same as what it did before, and it might just be one big blob of silver at the bottom of the safe, which you're going to get anything scrap value for. And if they were nice numerated pieces that you maybe got an extra premium for because of what they were, that's all completely gone. But then there's the other way to look at it, and this is very decisive, and I understand why it's decisive. But in many ways, you could argue the best thing to do is just have everything insured.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then the problem with that is that people have to know about every single item of silver. You've got to have it correctly insured. Maybe you don't want somebody to know every single item of silver or gold you've got. So maybe insurance isn't the best option for everybody. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things, where if it's an option, if it is a viable option to you to get everything insured and you're happy for the insurance company to know each and every single item you own in your precious metals, then at least regardless of what's going to happen, fire, theft, whatever, you're going to get it replaced. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean?
I completely agree.
Yeah.
Especially when you're saying that, insuring it. Okay, yeah, you can insure it, even though some insurance companies are funny about insurance bullion, and will charge you an arm and a leg for it.
Yeah.
You're also just disclosing where it is, and that's taking away one of the benefits of precious metals.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is what I'm saying about having to tell them every single item, because it's not going to be covered under your general insurance. Obviously, you don't have to tell the insurance company every item you own to get insured, but
True.
you will absolutely, like Futures just said, have to have specific item insurance for your precious metals, like you do very often with high value jewelry, etc., or maybe even an electrical item that's high enough value. They will need to have their own specific insurance, which you'll pay an additional extra premium on top of the rest of your insurance just to do that. I personally worked as a claims manager in buildings and content insurance for quite a few years, and yeah, you are 100% right there, mate. It's not. The problem with insurance is, you're going to get you in your wallet for the insurance, and if you go 20 years, nothing ever happens, and you liquidate, or you wasted a load of money on insurance. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
agreed. Yeah, just buy a safe. Just buy a big proper safe. Secure it down. Don't store all of your precious metals in one location, and you could probably get away without insurance. Have a fireproof packet for bullion that will fit in it, and I
Yeah.
think you're pretty much good to go. But just looking at the comments, I was chuckling away a minute ago because 365 said save your £120, and Cider Salman said I thought everyone keeps their silver at Cobra Stacker's house. And then 365 said, send it to me. I'll store all of it for you.
Well, actually, if we're talking about silver storage, I just want to remind everyone of TSC silver storages, where I've recently been storing coin for 365 days of silver, and I think you'll find tomorrow, mate, it turns up to you absolutely unscathed. So TSC storage all the way.
There's a second business idea for you there, mate.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'll store your precious metals. I'll look after them. They'll be safe with me.
I believe that. You've got your own bag.
They will. They absolutely will be safe with me. I will charge you.
Yeah. Well, like I said, you've got your own bug out bag, so it's going to be as safe with you as it would with Cobra Stacker. So yeah, I'll do it.
Well, I don't know. No, come on. I mean, we're going to have to retract that statement. I don't think
yeah, true.
you can't get paid with Cobra Stacker, can you? I mean, the guy has his. Not only does he work in the insecurity, he has his own security firm. He's the boss of all the boys there. So yeah, no, I think it's safer with Cobra than me, mate. Just by a bit.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Shame we haven't seen Cobra in tonight, but he's obviously busy, a very busy guy as well with his business. So he did a great video the other day, didn't he, where he did that prank on his partner, and he did a face reveal as well.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think that was his face reveal on his channel, wasn't it? But obviously, the first ever Cobra Stacker face reveal was
On your channel.
On my channel, yes, at the end of the London Coin Fair video. And yeah, just a shameless plug. I've not done a shameless plug in a few weeks, but shameless plug for my channel is if you've not had a chance to see it yet, definitely check out the London.
Oh,
am I back?
You're back. Oh my God, I thought we lost you.
No, when we get to 2 hours, it refreshes, so don't ever worry about that. But yeah, no, it's yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, so no, what I will say is it is a very rare occasion to get a good glimpse of the inside of the London Coin Fair, because you will do very well to find footage of the inside of the fair on other channels, because they are not a fan of being of having people filming there. So it is actually quite a rare walkthrough video of the London Coin Fair, as well as an amazing, the face reveal of an amazing YouTube creator, and as well as just going through my opinion and my pickups from the fair. So if you haven't watched that yet, definitely head over and do so.
Yeah, no, it's a brilliant video. I really actually enjoyed this vloggy style, and I would like to see more of it, to be honest with you, from yourself and Cobra. I don't know, I just really enjoy it, that sort of vlogging style.
Yeah, absolutely. I had a lot of fun with doing that video as well, and I would love to do more stuff like that. And I'm going to try and get out. I said it from the very. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going backwards with my channel to the beginning, because I've, what I wanted with a channel is it's kind of drifted away slightly recently. And one thing I always wanted to do was try and get around car boot sales and film myself going around car boot sales looking for proper budget buys, like where you can get like maybe even a bullion coin from, someone who's selling one off on a car boot, because maybe we got left one from the dad or something, you know what I mean? So that's one thing I want to do going forwards, and that'll be maybe more vloggy style, kind of similar to that video as well.
Yeah, I actually really like a YouTuber called Cincinnati Picker, and he's an American chap who his full-time job is going around garage sales and boot sales, and he buys and resells, and he just has a camera on his chest and interacts with the sellers, and it's really interesting. I could definitely see you doing that, mate.
Yeah, no, that would be. I would really like to do that. And so Stephen said, if you give access to the public, you can film, and it's a private event, and it's not open to the public. You have to pay to get in. Yeah, they we're within the rights to not allow us to film whilst we're in the event. But that being the case, we actually were giving off. It wasn't the organisers that were the issue, because me and Cobra went to the to speak to the organisers, and we were allowed. We were given permission to go in there and film under the the circumstances, and it was all the different sellers. They were just jumping up, rushing over, grabbing me, pulling me around, shouting at me that I'm not allowed to film. They got the security over it. Cobra would, if you saw Cobra's video, you'll have seen the interview he was doing with Callum.
Yes.
And whilst that, what people don't know is whilst that video was happening, one of the guy in the store behind us, so behind Cobra's back, I noticed him get up and dart off. And as he came, he hollered the security guy there over. And I could see him talking. As we were talking, I saw them both look over to our direction. So I thought, I know what's going off here. So after they finished talking, Cobra's still interviewing Miss Callum. The security guy comes over and walks and stands behind Cobra looking at him. And I'm looking at security guy. Security guy's looking at Cobra. Cobra's got doesn't know what's going on because he's interviewing the guy. And as he stood there, I said around to the security guy, I said, "Excuse me, mate, are you? Is this about the filming?" And he said, "Yes, yeah." I said, "We've got permission from the organisers." He says, you've got permission. I explained, yes, we've been given permission that we can take generic shots, like just panning the room anytime. But if we want to take specific close-up shots of the individual stores, we have to have that store's seller's permission. And this made me laugh. But the security guy turned around to me and said, "Well, does he know he's filming him?" And the reason it was so funny is you can imagine, as that interview was being filmed, Cobra stood there with his phone clearly out in front of him, in this guy's face, filming as he's talking. Does he know he's being filmed right now? I think he does, mate. Yeah. I mean, what a daft question. So, but the security guy wasn't too bad. When I pointed out that if you look, he's clearly giving a very, very willing interview right now, and he thanked me and walked away, and that was that. And after that, I just to be honest with you, after that, despite the fact we were given permission, I had to film it covertly. It was hidden camera style, where I was hiding the fact that I was filming and walking around, and I had no idea how good the footage was going to come out. But I think it came out quite well.
That's a great backstory, because we didn't know anything about that, and that's awesome to hear. What was it like meeting Cobra in person? Because I know you touched on it a little bit in your video, and vice versa with Cobra, but how was it that first time meeting a complete stranger, yet someone that you feel like you already know through the YouTube community as a friend? It must have been really quite exhilarating.
Yeah. Okay. So with Cobra, me and Cobra spoke quite a bit, like me and yourself speak outside of YouTube. And if I'm honest with everybody, I had seen Cobra's face beforehand, because he had sent me the prank video before. He wanted to show it me, but he couldn't share it onto YouTube because we'd made the agreement that we were going to show our faces first in person at the coin fair. And so he couldn't put it onto YouTube until after that. But he sent it to me personally, so I actually knew what he looked like. I don't think he'd actually seen. I'd not sent a photo of him so he knew what I looked like. But we just agreed to contact each other when we got there, and I ended up getting there slightly before Cobra. So I asked him if he was there. Yeah, he got back to me and said he was like 10 minutes away. So I said, all right, well, I'm going to be stood outside the front of the hotel waiting for you. And it definitely helped. I knew what he looked like, but I'm stood there, just leaning against this wall, and all of a sudden, this, if you see my video, you'll know what I mean. But it's absolutely stunningly beautiful, matte black and gold, custom painted BMW i8 pulls up, and as it's pulling up, our eyes locked, and we caught each other's eye, and I just. A biggest smile came on my face, and I just gave him a nod. And at that point, he realised, I was TSC, and he parked up his car. We met up. It was a little bit early because they were strict on the door opening time. So we went into the hotel bar, got a J2O each, And I think I got a Red Bull as well because we were a bit tired after driving all the way down to London. But yeah, we had a bit of a chat, and then went in and had a walk round. And what we kind of did is we would go in for a walk round, go back out, get a quick drink, and have a chat about what we'd seen, what we bought, and then go back in. And we probably went in 3 times, and on the third time, I think we knew that we've seen everything now. This is the time to buy if there's anything left that you want to buy. But as I said in the video, we both went home with a lot more money unspent than spent, shall we say?
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. Really, really cool that YouTube has, created this community. I remember when I started, there didn't seem to be a community like this, and it's crazy how now people are meeting in real life, and I can't wait to do that myself and meet you and Cobra and hopefully 365 one day. I know he's very, very cautious with his anonymity on regarding that, which is absolutely fair enough. I myself also try to be careful. But like we say, we chat out of YouTube, so definitely one day I'd like to meet up for sure.
Yeah. No, that would be amazing, mate. And like, hopefully, sometime in the future, you can come and do something similar where it's like we're meeting up for a content related kind of thing, and just like what I did at the London Coin Fair, because and this answers a question for Stephen as well. I said this in a live. This was always going to be the plan for me. But I am doing 2 face reveals, an in-person one at 500 subscribers. Now, my initial, this was the only place where my initial idea changed, where I suggested the Royal Mint experience. But Cobra was in the live of that video and said, well, why don't we meet up at the Coin Fair? And I said, that's fine. And so it's the same kind of related kind of thing. So it's Coin Fair versus Royal Mint experience. We'll do it at the Coin Fair. I've done the first in-person face reveal, and when I get to 1,000 subscribers, if I get to 1,000 subscribers, that's when I'm going to be revealing my face on the channel. For all you unlucky people, get ready for that day.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. First, we've got to get you to 500 subscribers. So there's 24 people in the live stream right now. Fantastic amount of people. If you haven't already, please go and consider looking at the Stack Collectors channel and hitting that subscribe button. It costs absolutely nothing for you to do, and you only gain from it. He has great investment knowledge, fantastic numismatic knowledge, the best out there that I know, that at least I watch anyway. So really, really interesting and fun content. And at the end of the day, you could potentially win a 1-ounce Silver Britannia or some other awesome pieces. So definitely consider subscribing to the Stack Collector. The link is in the description of this live stream for his channel. But yeah, overall, I feel like the live stream's gone really well tonight. We've had a very good chat, haven't we, on all things precious metals. Normally, we tend to go off on a bit more of a tangent and have a bit more pub chat, if you like. We've talked about in the past about aliens, the government, having your own bug out bag, which is a topic I really, really like. But we didn't do too much of that tonight so far, have we?
No, we haven't. So, would you like to hear a story?
Yes, and we also need to still hear the announcement that you wanted to speak about at the beginning of the live stream.
That's the story.
Oh, perfect. Here we go. I'm ready.
So this is mate. This to you, this is 100% real. Like this actually happened, and I don't know. I don't like it, but I don't know what happened. But since I've moved into my new house, when I'm in my room, it keeps sounding like somebody else is in the house. So when I moved in, I was constantly running downstairs, like, because I'm sure you can imagine being a precious metal collector. If you've ever fought with someone in your house, you've got seconds to stop them before they swipe off with all your stack. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So at first, I'm hearing these bumps, and like, when you can hear like not conversation in the next room where you can hear someone talking, but you can't. It's too muffled to hear what they're actually saying. That kind of thing. And I'd check, there's nothing there. So I'd put it down to the fact that, okay, it's probably just thin walls or something. I'm nearing next door, whatever. Okay. So this happened to me a couple of weeks ago, and the only reason I'll tell you is because I wanted to get your actual your opinion live on it. But so a couple of weeks ago, I'm lying in bed and it's getting quite late at night. I start hearing these bumps and like little knocks, and like it's hearing someone's talking in the other room. And I'm lying there in bed and I'm thinking, you know what? I'm not messing about. I'm not getting up. I'm late. It's late. I'm tired. There's no one in my ass. It's everything's fine. Then bang on my bedroom door, just like that. I've
Really?
never been so scared. I grabbed my baseball bat, mate. I was lying there, stiff as a board, baseball bat in hand, not knowing what to do. It was someone banging. It was my bedroom door. It was no other door in the house. It was my bedroom door, the room I was in, and it was a pretty hefty thud on it too. So yeah, that what got me, mate. And honestly, I don't know how to explain that, but it terrified me.
Has that happened more than once so far, or?
Well, say that happened. As you know, I've been in my house a couple of months now. The muffled like kind of voices and like sounding like banging from other rooms, which sounds like rooms in my house, but it could be rooms from the house next door. That's happened all the way through. That happens pretty much nearly every day. But a lot of it probably is just normal noises. You know what I mean? But the thudding on the bedroom doors happened that one time alone up to yet.
God, I've just seen 365
Yeah.
said get a dog to Stat Collector, and I literally was about to say get a German Shepherd. I the other night went to bed and I left the window in the lounge open, and I didn't really like doing it. But Tommy sleeps in the lounge, and I thought, what am I worrying about? If anyone's climbing through the window, I'm going to feel sorry for them, and Tommy's going to let me know. So. Stat 365 said burrow Tommy.
But the thing is, right? Yeah, okay, I can get Tommy, but I don't think there was someone in my house banging on my door. But I heard someone bang on my door, so I don't know if the dog can actually help me in this situation.
That's a good point.
I don't think there was actually an intruder in my house. That's the problem. But,
that's the scary thing, isn't it? If you get up, like you said, get your bat. You open the door and there's someone there. Okay, you're going to be like, who the fuck? Oh, excuse me. Who is this in my house? Yeah. But if you open the door and there's no one there, that means that's eerie. What do you do in that situation?
Well, you lie stiff as a board on your bed with just gripping your baseball bat so hard your knuckles go white. That's what you do, mate.
Did you do a full house sweep like Special Forces after you opened the door?
Scared to move, Future. I was literally too scared to move. I was in my bed because my baseball bat's leant up on the wall next to my bed. So I literally just grabbed that within lightning fast, just grabbed it and laid there, just waiting. If that door opened, I was going to jump up. But I laid there for hours. It took me a long time to get relaxed enough to go to sleep. And there was no other noises after that. It just went quiet.
That is, and you literally think that bang was straight on your bedroom door?
And I know for a fact, mate. I know for a fact it was on that door. Definitely, it was on. The door. I was in that room, and you can tell another door somewhere else in my house.
Wow, mate, you must have absolutely crapped yourself.
Yeah, I absolutely, because I'm not one to I don't have many stories like this. I really don't. You know what I mean? This, something like that has never really happened to me before. I was literally genuinely terrified, too scared to move.
Yeah, I don't blame you. That would scare anyone, I think. I've seen Stevens just said, did the house belong to a forest fan before you, the Stat Collector? I assume he means because you're a tree surgeon.
No, he means because he for some reason assumes that I'm a Derby County fan, but actually I like the Reds, mate. So Forest all the way for me.
Ah, is that football, is it?
It says Nottingham Forest and Derby County.
Oh, I'm terrible with football, I'm going to be honest. But that's funny,
I might even mix up and just start following is it not City on what's there's two Nottingham teams, isn't it? Is it Notts County, isn't it?
Stephen will have to answer that one because
it's Derby City. It's Derby City and Notts County. Yeah, I think that's right. And then Nottingham Forest. But I don't really follow football anyway, so I wouldn't get.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But yeah, brilliant story, mate.
It was Derby fans are damned. Well, they are the damned United. Was it Derby, the Clough film that was the damned United? It was, wasn't it? or was it Leeds? Leeds were damn United. I can't remember.
365 said I couldn't even name 5 football teams.
Yeah, I think I could get to that.
Yeah, I'm pretty bad. I'm not that bad, but I could definitely name a few. But yeah,
I
but
think that's where I could get to 5 as far as many teams. But I'm really not a follower of football unless it's England playing in a tournament.
are you planning on going diving anymore soon?
Maybe because I've been speaking to Cobra about that recently. Because if anyone didn't know, he's also a qualified scuba diver, which is something I learned in one of our chats because we were talking about my diving when you were asking me about mine. And he's also a qualified scuba diver, so I've been chatting to him about it recently. But I've also built this paranoia of the ocean up over the last few years for some reason. So yeah, I think I need to get back into it because we were talking only within the last couple of days about the feeling you get being in the water, how it's like technically the closest you can ever get to flying, because you're suspended in the water and you move in, the way you move and where you're free to, which you can't ever relate to just by swimming. When you fully immersed underneath it, and that's you plane you're in and you swim around. It really is kind of like flying, and it's amazing. So I do kind of think I need to start going out and doing a bit more diving now.
Yeah, I'd love to do it, but I'm just too scared of getting absolutely destroyed by a shark or a killer whale. So I'll leave it with you, buddy, on that one.
Yeah, no, that's the thing, though, isn't it? I mean, especially when you have those videos like that guy in Egypt recently.
Yeah.
Can you remember that one? That was horrific, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was absolutely horrific. I just want to shout out Darth Stacker. He said that was it for me, guys. Nice one. See you all next time. Take care, buddy.
No worries, Garth. That's brilliant, mate. And awesome to have you here. And we'll chat soon on this Stackers Social. Can't wait. Darth
Yeah,
is
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. We'll see you on the Stacker Social, buddy. And for anyone else, make sure you check it out. It's worth checking out for sure. 365 said the shark video definitely put me off swimming in the sea. Yeah, it's a bad way to go. It's a very bad way to go. Do you know that there's even killer whales in the United Kingdom's waters? Did you know that?
We're talking like up north, like tip of Scotland kind of thing.
Yeah.
And yeah. I mean, it doesn't surprise me at all. And killer whales are they kill great white sharks. So
Yeah, they're the real deal. I'm just researching. It says orcas have been recorded all around British waters, but they are most common in west and north of Scotland and northern sections of the North Sea. The Shetland Islands are an orca hotspot.
Yeah. I just want to say, because I missed a message from Exeter Beekeeper. I just want to say thank you because he's just let me know that he's subscribed to my channel. So thank you so much for that, mate.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, well, there you go. I've just subscribed to the Stat Collector. Exeter Beekeeper. Well done, mate. Thank you for supporting the Stat Collector. That's brilliant.
It is, mate. Thank you so much. What's the Simon saying now? I'm more scared of swallowing a turd, blooming water company.
Yeah. I've become a little bit of a pansy recently. I drink a lot of squash, and I don't mind drinking tap water, but it always is so chalky when it goes in, and it settles for a while. But I like buying bottled water now if I can help it, and actually diluting my squash with like bottled water. But yeah.
I mean, I can't. To be honest with you, mate, bottled water, right? For me, I got into bottled water in my flat because my flat had water. The water had problems. The taps all had this black slime growing on them, and it didn't matter how often you cleaned them; it was always there. And I tell you, one of the best things about my new house is I'm constantly wiping the underneath of the tap, and it's not there, and it's so amazing. And I can actually drink the water again. But no, I do recommend. There's the whole plastic debate, but tap water is kind of gross when you actually look at what it is and how it's processed and recycled, and there's you can have things growing in the pipes and tanks and not of course not so much the mains because they're pressurized pipes, but then I was in a block of flats, and I think they had a water tank in there which had gone bad. But yeah, no, I understand what you're saying with the bottled water. It's I know a few people that are like that. They don't drink tap water; they only drink bottled water. And you know what? Why not? If it's you're thinking of your health.
Yeah, absolutely. I know. I agree. I'm sorry. I just laughed there, not because I wasn't listening to you, but I glanced over to the comments.
Yeah,
And so I put blooming water companies, but as I read down, 365 is just completely randomly put. I took a poo in a public swimming pool when I was a kid. Like, lovely. That's why I don't like public swimming pools either.
No, I know, but they are just urine infested like cesspits. I mean, public
Yeah.
swimming pools are the worst. I mean, do you know, like when you open the door, you can just smell that horrible chloroform smell, and it's
Yeah.
it's because they have to put that's because of urine. That's what it's there for, because people wee in that pool, and I'm with you there, public pools. But I want to know this. I want 365. Now you've said it, we need a video on your channel telling the story about how you would put food in a public pool when you were a
Speak
kid.
for yourself. That might be one video I skip.
I want to know that story. I mean, that's got to be the most. Like, I'm thinking of his parents here with him and like what they would have done. And, like, you've just got this little 365, like just sit there in the middle of the pool, like just not doing anything. And then what are you doing, mate? Nothing. Are you sure?
I don't know why, but none of us know what 365 even remotely looks like. And for some reason, him telling us that he did a poo in a public school, in a
Yeah.
public pool, sorry, has given me an image of him somehow,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's the most
Yeah.
descriptive things he's ever said about himself.
Yeah, me too. That's when I thought that's what you were going to say, because as soon as you started saying it, I thought to myself, isn't it mad how I've like got no idea what it looks like, but I'm sure it's seen with future. But we've both got an idea of this little guy in our head of what it looks like, etc. That's quite. Oh, we've got one from Stephen now. I once took a period on Sheffield United. Oh, what pitch in Sheffield United pitch when he was a kid? How does that happen?
Holy shit.
The football ground. I know that much about football.
God, you guys crap me up. There's definitely some stories from you lot. Gary put years ago, I found a dead bird in someone's water tank in the attic. That's horrific.
Yeah, that used to happen all the time. Dead pigeons in the water tank in the attic. That's what I'm talking.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I want to check my water tank in the loft now because I have got one. And
what about the older Little Lamb story though? That's got to be one of the grossest things ever, hasn't it?
is that the one where she was in the water tank in that hotel in America and people were drinking the water for weeks?
It's the Cecil Hotel, and it's kind of like it's supposed to be this unsolvable mystery, because there's this one video of her in the
lift.
Left going weird, and she went missing. And what happened is she was able to get onto the roof, climbed into one of the huge water tanks, like the thing you see in towers in films, and they're on the top of a huge building, and they're for water for the building. And she fell in there, was unable to get back out, and for a couple of weeks, people were complaining to the hotel that the water had a funny taste and color to it, because they were.
Oh my god! Yeah,
she's. Yeah, I'm not going to say it because but that's talking about stuff getting in tanks. That's awful, isn't it?
Oh my god! After this live stream, I'm going to go up in my loft, pop the tank off the water tank, and stick a torch in there because I've lived in my house a year and a half now, and I've not checked.
Well, I mean, you saying that made me think of something else, like talking about like places in your house you don't check. Have you ever seen those videos of people living in people's houses?
Yes, they're bloody scary.
It is, isn't it? So scary.
Have you done a good deep check on your house? I mean, you've got a pretty cool basement in your house, which most people in the UK don't have.
Yeah,
which is really cool.
Yeah, because it's not only is it a basement, it's actually it's tanked, and it's not a dingy place. It's somewhere that I can actually use, which is really, really cool. I always keep I keep that locked all the time. No, there's one area in my house I haven't explored yet. It's the attic, but the attic hatch is inside my bedroom.
You've never been in your loft?
No.
You've not even looked in it?
Kind of. I've opened the hatch. Right. Okay. So when I first moved in, I opened the hatch and got a dirt shower, which was really really cool because I opened the hatch and it was obviously dust and crap had settled on top of it and it all fell on me and all over my bedroom carpet. So that was cool. So then I went with a Hoover and just hoovered round the stairs and round the hatch. So he didn't do that again when I opened the hatch. But what I could see is semi-converted. It's got a floor in there. So it's like halfway from being making it into a room. It's I went to go in there again, and I didn't have a torch on me in my phone. I didn't know where my phone was, so and it's too dark to see anything over there. And so then when I went to go in there again, I'd closed it a bit funny, and it's the hatch is jammed. So I've got to go with a plunger, stick the plunger to the hatch, try and unlock it again, but be able to pull on it because it's kind of wedged in, so be able to pull on it with a hook plunger down. But I've got a load of extra storage space up there that I'm going to be using at some point.
Christ, but you've never actually gone in there per se.
No, I've never actually gone into.
Is there any items in there left by previous owners? Can you see or?
Not that I saw. Same as I say now, the hatch is a little jammed right now, so I've got to de-jam it. But I will do what 365 said, and I'll do an explore into the attic on camera. That's no problem at all. Not
mate.
Right now, but you know, when I've got my funds ready.
Yeah, I'd love to see that. That would be wicked. A cheeky little attic explore for the first time.
Yeah. But if TSC does go missing, tell the police to check the attic.
yes. The first place is check the attic and then check the basement.
Yeah, exactly. I keep the basement door locked, you know.
What, can someone get to it from the outside?
Well, no, not really. But if we wanted to, it'd be harder to do that than it would just to break through the door.
Is there like a window to the outside or?
No, there's nothing like that. But you'd be breaking through brick. But there's like there's a small ventilation, like a small piece of ventilation that you'd be making bigger. So you won't be making a hole from start. You're making something a bit bigger to squeeze through. So it's technically possible, but again, it's more hassle than it would be just breaking through a door or window.
Yeah. Good that you keep it locked. I think that's good. Gary said, "Oh, sorry."
Yeah, but what? This is another thing that weirded me out when I got my house because the lock for the cellar is on the outside of the door. It's like a bathroom lock, but it's on the outside. So it's like, who were you locking into it before? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's
that's weird.
You know, it's like I'm taking it out and I'm putting a key lock in, but that will you be able to use from either side, of course. But you know, why is there a lock specifically that can only be used from the outside of the cellar? That makes me wonder.
Yes, yeah, that is weird.
Yeah.
That is weird.
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple of things about this house. I'm starting to get creeped out. I think I need to get someone down to get a blessing or something.
Yeah, God, you're going to start doing a haunting vlogging channel from Stat Collector's house.
Do you know I used to be part of a paranormal investigation group?
Yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah, I've still got the ghost meter. I'm going to dig it out when I go in the attic.
I like it. Do it. I would watch them videos. Just jumping. Cider Salmon said, "Guys, I'm off to bed. Have a great night, all." I think on that note, mate, I was planning on calling it at 9 o'clock. Should we call it a day on the old live stream?
Well, yeah, because I've not been able to eat yet. I mean, you didn't get away with it as well as you thought you did, Future, but we all know you've had your tea.
my missus told me off. She was mouthing to me and saying, "You're so loud." And I was like, "I'll be all right." And she was like, "Nah, they can all hear." I was like, "Fuck."
Yeah, there was the random odd clicking of forks on a plate, but you know, it's fine, mate. It was no problem. But yeah, I'd say I've not eaten yet, so I've got to go and get some cooked. So it's a good time to stop. And before we do, let's all just say a massive once again congratulations to Future Investments for 2 years on YouTube. That's so amazing, mate. I'm going to be putting a post or something up as soon as we get up, and it's just been amazing having everyone here. I love coming across to your channel, you know, not just with yourself, but mostly you, but also everyone else who comes across and joins with them. So it's been an amazing night. Thank you so much to everybody who has come across and joined us. And yeah, once again, mate, happy second birthday.
Oh, thank you, mate. Yeah, I appreciate that. And yeah, 2 years on YouTube, absolutely crazy. Thanks for your comments, buddy. It means a lot. John said, "Got to go, boys. I'm exhausted. Been busy all week, and my cabin bed is calling. Safe journey to Safe journey to you. Try to make it next week. Thanks, John. See you later, mate." Sackcollect 365 said, "Fantastic live." Gary said, "Great live and love the chat. Take care all. Have a good week and happy birthday to Future Investments." 365 said, "Happy 2-year anniversary. Great achievement." Yeah, and Stephen said, "Get a room." Right. Yeah, and Every Cloud, CY Sterling all saying they really enjoyed it. So thanks for your support tonight, guys. It's been amazing. Thanks, Brian. Thanks to you, the Stat Collector. I appreciate your time as always doing it with me. It's brilliant fun. We have such a good chat. And yeah, as always, I'm going to let you sign off, buddy, because it's what we do, isn't it?
That's how we roll, as they say. Yeah, before I go, I just want to say, as you said, Cyber Sound Man, enjoy your sangrias tomorrow, mate. I can't wait to see your messages, what you're uploading tomorrow to a stack of social. Cyber Sound Man's been away on holiday and he's been enjoying the cocktails. So yeah, we've made that very aware to us all. But no, as you said, it's been amazing. It's been great chatting with everyone, as I said just now. But so I won't go on any longer. And that being said, until next time, as always, look after each other, take care, keep stacking, and goodbye.